Let's go!
Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first stream on the.
It's our first
channel.
show.
First,
Our first show ever.
We're still wet behind the ears. Nah, this is the first stream on the new YouTube channel. He is Dawson, Ryan, Nickatina. I am ACS, and we are four nerds. So, what's up, Ryan? Did you say something?
What's up? No.
You're so eager to get.
You got something to say?
I actually put a link to the channel in the chat for everybody to share.
Yes,
where? I don't
with
see
a
it.
friend. And
I see it.
Currently, we're under 100 subs, I believe. So
Why would you voice that out there?
it's our first show. It's our
first show on this channel.
On this channel, it's our first
33
show.
times. On other
We are
channels.
having to rebuild the clientele.
We're rebranding. Not the clientele. I mean, this is the same clientele we've had the entire time.
Yeah.
This is such a bad start.
Let's start again. Let's start over.
Okay.
Dude,
Yes.
All
right.
Kill me every time. So we got a great show for you guys today. Before we jump in with our guests, we are going to check these comments out, dude. See who's here. Barcy was first. She says, "What's up? What's good,
Hey,
Barcy? Andrew Casale was good. Andrew. Barcy, Andrew.
Marcy and Andrew. Yeah.
That's all who's there.
She's
Jacobson,
like, hey, what's up? Hey, are they starting? I don't know. How you doing?
Yeah. And then here's Ryan. He's put a YouTube.
Hey, that's an awesome channel.
Hit that like, yes, Barcy.
Yeah,
yes,
you,
hit that like button. Subscribe. First stream, like we said again on our the Four Nerds YouTube channel. Andy R.
What's up, Andy? Obi-Wan the homie. I love that name.
Nice.
I love that name.
Welcome to the show. Yes,
Obi-Wan. Does he hang out with Chewie? And this will be our first ban of the for the new channel, the Nickatina Show. We need to ban this guy.
Do it.
As a jerk. Yeah.
No, it was just my account.
Just
in the chat, not the video, just in the chat.
What do we do? Okay, so I'm
musical chairs.
I lost control.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Arkham Gaming was good. How you guys doing? Did you hear from the head of HBO back? Casey Boys confirms that there will be a crossover between. No, I didn't see that.
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, it takes place in the same universe as the Batman, so that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
What's up, 187?
187 and a half.
187.
13 was good.
What's up?
So he does hang out with Chewie. In other words.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Hey, we got
confirmed.
We got another fan in the chat named Big Stevie W.
Where's
You see him on there?
Here we go.
And he's one of the Nerd Vengers. So Nerd
Vengers
Vengers
was good.
welcome.
What's up?
Thank you for being here.
Welcome.
Speaking of the Nerd Vengers, we're going to go ahead and bring our guest in, Josh.
Yeah.
And then the nerds. Josh was good, man.
You are muted.
Of course I am. I'm
Don't worry, it's our first show. So
my first show too.
You're allowed to be a little rusty.
Yeah, my first show too. What's up, guys? Happy to be here, man. Happy to talk some nerdy stuff with y'all.
Yeah.
Good to have you on, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, good to have you on.
Yeah, appreciate.
I always gotta say, I always love that cut out Han Solo in the back and Chewie.
Yeah.
It's always fantastic. Always makes me just a little bit jealous, you know.
Yeah, man. It's been with me for a couple years. It was a cool gift. I will often put a different hat on, or I had Vader on Han for a while.
I remember that.
Yeah. It's just kind of a fun thing. I'm planning to move in the next couple of weeks, and I want to get some more. Always messes. I know, right? My mic. I want to get another one. I don't know. I'm thinking the new Boba. I really like the sort of new.
With the black flight suit.
It's just clean looking, you know.
Yeah, I want the Black Series figure of that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Great.
Hopefully coming soon. Yeah, it's good stuff for sure.
Yeah, the nice newly painted green. Oh my gosh.
So when you saw the book of Boba Fett flash on the screen, what was your reaction to that? You know.
Well, I mean, it was awesome for sure because I guess up until that point, I had sort of been talking about how that was definitely a thing, that there was a Boba Fett show, and a lot of people had not thought it was a thing, and then even Disney, wasn't. They didn't talk about it at the investor call, so it seemed really weird. It was oh no, are we going to get kind of called out for this or whatever? So that was really cool. that Stinger scene was dope. Man.
What'd you think of Fat Bib Fortuna? I was like,
fantastic.
dude, he was super fat. Weight. I was
fantastic, dude. Fantastic. Why not? If you're gonna do Bib, like, why not make him like big and lavish? It reminded me of that line that Bruce had in what was it, Dark Knight Returns or Year One, where he's like, "You've eaten well, gentlemen," or whatever, when he comes in.
Oh, I think that was year one. I think it's year one.
Year one. Yeah.
It kind of reminded of that kind of a vibe where it's like, oh man, this dude's been living fat, large, and
I was like, how the hell did he escape from the sail barge anyway? Wasn't he there?
Totally was there. Totally there. He was like, or something.
He's the only one that survived.
Yeah.
He needs his own.
He dove off the side.
Yeah,
something.
Swan dive into the water, like.
Yeah, man. What if
he dove into the Sarlacc and saved Boba, and then Boba let him live until
that. Yeah, hey, that could work for sure. I did think it was kind of interesting that he just comes right up on him and just fries him like that, though. I mean,
he just walked straight in and was like.
Don't you think some of those men would have been like useful to him? I mean, it seems like if you're going to build like a criminal enterprise, some of the soldiers and whatever would be good.
Be loyal.
They were trying to defend you. They're like, we don't like that guy anyway.
He was like, nah, man, no severance package, nothing.
I don't need an army. I've got new armor. A recent paint job.
I want to show you something. I always love that clip.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if you would have done that in the throne room or something like that. That would have been pretty sick.
See, that was cool that he was able to do that in the show. When he's like, let me show you something. And then he was able to show that, like this armor does belong to him, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And of course,
it's turned into such a meme now, though. Like, anytime something happens, I want to show you something. It's just like a Bernie Sanders meme,
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. It has been great. It's almost like a Bitcoin kind of thing too when he pulls it up, right? Because it's like
I'm sorry, but the knee rockets are better than the gauntlet, hologram. They just came out of the knee. I was like, what?
Knee.
I was like, finally we get to see that in live action. And that was just awesome because I mean, I used to build armor and stuff like that, and that was one of the things.
Oh, here we go.
So anyway, and that was just one of the things.
So Josh, when I was younger, I used to
totally have a bunch of stats.
When I was a younger man,
but let me ask you guys a question because the knee missile thing brings up this kind of thing. So Boba's kind of like the Batman of Star Wars, right?
I would say he's the Iron Man of.
You think he's the Iron Man?
Yeah. Because I mean, doesn't Iron Man have missiles in his?
Oh,
armor?
for sure. But
I mean, well,
he's saying in the DC universe though.
He's Batman. He's their version of Batman.
He's like the Star Wars equivalent of Batman.
Yeah, very much so.
So, do you think if they were to meet in combat, who would win in a bout between those two?
Well, Boba has guns, so that's
true.
one. That's one.
Well, so does every other criminal that Batman goes up against.
True.
So.
Although he has laser guns, so he could fly.
Not really.
Well, the jetpack.
Batman would make an armor suit of Beskar. Yeah. That's what he'd do.
Ooh, yo.
Yes. I think Batman, he would outsmart him.
I need that figure now.
Seriously. Mando Bat fan art.
Beskar Batman.
Yes. Yeah, that would be sick. I like the Hellbat armor from, I don't know if you guys read some of that stuff. Where
the Court of Owls, yeah.
Well, he goes to get Damien or whatever, I think from Apocalypse, right? And I think
that one, yeah.
Yeah. It's like they forge that was crazy. I loved that line. I love that kind of bombastic stuff with bats, man. So if he had that on, he could probably hang with Boba. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Definitely. I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
But dude, now I just feel this urge to go home after this just draw Beskar Batman.
Yeah, no,
I am home. Leave my studio that I rent out on the weekends, because I'm rich now. No, just go and draw that. It'd be fantastic. I'm gonna do that. It's happening.
Yeah, man. Let me know. I want to check it out. That'd be cool.
Yo, but Boba and Bruce, no weapons, no armor.
Ooh,
that'd be a throwdown.
Hand-to-hand combat.
I'd give it to Bruce.
I agree.
Yeah.
He's trained like over 100 forms of martial arts, whereas Boba's arguably not trained in that many forms of martial arts.
And honestly, I mean, to be honest, Boba, he got hit in the back with a staff.
He did.
Return of the Jedi. I mean, that Batman, that would never happen. He went out like a
chump. Yeah, he went
like a chump.
Yes.
Him and his dad. Django.
Right, okay, so
Django, that was a little
Django or Boba?
Like, really, dude?
Who would win?
Django or Boba?
Yeah.
I'd probably say Django, but I don't know.
He got worked by Mace Windu.
I mean, because the same argument could be, Damien or Bruce, because it's a clone. So it's which original or which clone out of the two pair would win? And I'm asking the chat too. What do you guys think?
I have to agree with Josh. I think that Django would win because he seems like he's more precise in how he does things.
More
and he
experienced as well.
More experienced.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, to a certain extent, depending on the timeline. And Batman and Bruce and Damien.
Bruce.
Damien might try to kill Bruce.
Damien would go that far.
Yeah, Damien doesn't have that code.
Like a full-grown Damien and a full-grown Bruce, same age. Yeah, I'd have to agree, Damien probably.
Because if Bruce did get the better of him, he would leave him there. He wouldn't take him out. In other words, while Damien would probably.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, overall, though, I mean, the Mandalorian season 2 was phenomenal, and I know Josh, you covered that week by week, and the setup they have, as Ryan was saying earlier about the Book of Boba, and how they had the investor meeting where they showed all the different projects they're working on. I mean, how excited are you for what's to come from the Star Wars universe on Disney Plus?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. I mean, there's a part of me that's a little bit skeptical, just because they've sort of yet to. Well, it's a lot, yeah, and they've sort of yet to prove themselves outside of the formula for Mando. And it's like, for me, I love Mando, and especially that second season, and the Luke stuff was great, but it's still not, to me, even close to some of the top tier television that's just out there in general. And with other things kind of coming into streaming and sort of, maybe battling for attention, I guess the concern would just be, is all of it going to be to the quality of Mando? Are they going to be able to keep it all to the quality of Mando and have it all tie together? That's a big ask. And, frankly, Star Wars has, a lot of potential pitfalls similar to DC. You know what I mean? Like DC right now has things that are just like, whether it be the Ray Fisher situation or even just the sort of controversy around the Flash film itself or Ezra. There are all these little, it feels almost like a death by a thousand cuts things where, with Star Wars, almost everywhere you look is a potential landmine. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
they just had a landmine that happened yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a huge one.
Yeah, that was exactly my point. They had potentially, somebody was reporting, I forget who it was. Somebody was reporting that there was 100% a Cara Dune spinoff in the works. Now, as far as I know, the Ranger show was that.
That's
show.
what I thought it was. Yeah,
she was going to be in the Ranger show. Now they're probably moving her out. But there are other shows that have actors that are in similar controversies and stuff, with Star Wars. So it's like, oh man, I would like to believe they could pull it all together, but also, I'm a little skeptical, I guess.
Well, it's funny too because I mean, out of all the celebrities that have had these scandals or these, these things that have happened to them outside of their profession, I think out of all of them, I mean, I would imagine at this point, Amber Heard is the one who's come out like a champ because now everyone seemed to forgot about that, and now they're talking about giving her, there's a rumor that she's going to have her own Mara series and all this stuff, and by the time that movie comes out, I don't think anyone's going to hold it against her anymore. Is that supposed
to come after the trench?
The trench, yeah.
Dude, I don't want to go hard on Warner Brothers because I know that's your guys' stuff, but man, some of their decisions just really baffle me.
Oh god, yes.
Dude, DC fans more than anyone totally understand people complaining about Warner Brothers. We of all people are complaining the most about Warner Brothers.
What? They're I was like, y'all gonna give her a solo series? What are you doing? I don't understand. So I think the solo series is hedging their bets on if they need to cut her out of the movie or something, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, we'll see. But to your point, I guess, about the controversy, I'm not so sure she's out clean, man. It feels no, you can drag the.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go to town, dude. Just go to town.
I just feel like with this particular situation and with the Ezra situation and just in general with Ray and Zach and this whole thing, I feel like they've been sort of half in, half out with it. It's like they can't be committal to the energy that came sort of behind the Snyder Cut. It's always sort of been treated or kept at arm's length. And I feel like it's obvious that not everybody in the studio even wants it to succeed. So it's just hard for fans. Like for me, as someone that's not like super hardcore, like I love Zach and I can't wait to see his stuff. But for me on the outside, it's like, man, that is tough. Like I don't even know how to navigate those waters because it feels like I don't even fully understand like the dynamics of the fandom. Like people like this thing, but they're mad about this, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So
yeah. Well, I mean, the Ezra thing was out of all the different controversies, that was like the least. It got the least coverage.
Actually, right. I mean,
most people didn't really care too much about it.
And the main reason for that is because he's not on social media. Period.
Yeah,
dude doesn't have anything. So
that's the smartest decision I think.
It happened in Iceland. You know what I mean? There's not a lot going on there.
he's like.
Meanwhile, in Iceland,
they were like, Ezra, lay low for like a few months. You'll be all good. Okay, cool. You know, but no, definitely.
Yeah, it seemed like they kind of almost I felt like the studio kind of wanted to cover for him in that situation. Would you agree with that?
I felt the same way that they were really trying to protect him.
Yeah,
it's different. Okay, well, Ray Fisher, Ezra is also in another franchise for Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to protect that dude. He's in the
he's an investment.
Fantastic Beast, yes. So like you could see why they would protect that dude and not the other one.
But so was Johnny Depp. I mean, Johnny Depp had a pretty substantial role in Fantastic Beasts, and yet they gave him
a good point.
They cut him out. They're like, goodbye.
He probably wasn't the future of that franchise though. Ezra's still young and he's still I don't know.
Yeah, but he's Johnny Depp. I mean, that's a huge.
Yeah, but can't they get that other guy from Scream that looks like Johnny Depp? That's like his
Skeet Ulrich.
Yeah, just get him. Like, and nobody will know the difference. They're like, what?
I wonder if he could sue. Like, I wonder if like they did that and Johnny could just sue them and be like, no, that's
that was like in
like
Back
the
to the
Crispin
Future,
Glover kind of thing. Yeah, Crispin Glover thing.
Crispin Glover
changed out George. Hey, you.
That'd be
Don't
wild.
hire another actor.
Get your damn hands off her.
I'm your destiny. I'm your destiny.
Oh my god.
He's like
Density.
Density. That's right. I'm your density.
Your density. Your density.
Yo, like over here wearing braces.
Are you guys? Are you personally all still Team Ezra? Are you riding with Ezra, or how do you? Okay.
I am. I mean, I am.
There's nothing that
is there another team?
Well, there are definitely some people. Here's the thing. Okay, so this is what I find interesting about, like, I guess the DC fandom, and maybe like this is something that maybe we can kind of get into.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess there are people that definitely don't want him to be the Flash, and there are people that think that this situation should make him not the Flash. And I wonder, because even his initial I guess portrayal of the character was not universally loved, but I know that a lot of people that are fans of Snyder stuff are like, yeah, but that's because it wasn't the real, version of
it was
Ezra's Flash, right?
Right.
I think it's the main stance of a lot of Snyder fans. Like, we'll wait and see the full version, and then if it's not good, then we'll have our opinion, I guess.
Yeah, because then we can make the informed decision. Was it a good portrayal or was it not? And the on the antithesis of Ezra's, of course, the people who like Grant Gustin, and want to see the TV actor sort of jump into a film role and take the character from there. Because I mean, other than Ezra and Grant, there's really nobody else that anybody really has in mind. Like, hey, this could be the Flash or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm on the side of like, let's find out what this is. We only have a month and a half left, a month left. We can make a decision from there and say, hey, was this portrayal good? Did he emulate? Because the one we got, the awkward, kind of quirky, face in Wonder Woman's boob.
Push some people and run away.
the dialogue was
it didn't really do it for me. I'm gonna be honest. Like I was this is, and his choices were a little odd. I felt like, and I was like, man, like this just doesn't necessarily feel like Barry Allen to me. And so I guess like at the heart of the Snyder Cut I've always found it interesting because even Zach's like initial work, I'm a huge fan of Man of Steel, right? Yeah. And I love the theatrical cut of BVS, or rather the extended cut of BVS. Yeah.
Yeah. The only version.
Right.
But there's an IMAX version coming out.
Yes. Okay. As of right now, Ryan, shut up.
Yeah, you guys.
But I like these movies. But I think even back then, before any of like the major controversies, there was a lot of DC fans that didn't just universally accept it. So I've always found the Snyder Cut and the whole Zack thing and what went on very interesting, because it's almost like there was no real healing ever. And the studio just tried to make everybody happy, and it ended up not making anybody happy.
Well, they tried to make themselves happy, make everybody think that everybody was happy.
Yeah.
And then the big thing with Warner Bros. Is that it was such an obvious cover up to so many fans that I think that even further enraged the fans.
Yeah.
You know, because like studios.
It was. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, studios covers things up all the time, and they're smaller things, and a lot of times they don't get out. But like this one was like too big of a thing to like cover up.
It was a big Band-Aid. It was because Warner Brothers has had a record of being very reactionary. You know, in that, you know, they panic when they see that, oh, I'm not making the money that I thought I should. Let me jump in here and with a scalpel and cut this thing up and butcher it to hell and try to, you know, and that's why you have this Frankenstein monster of a movie, you know, that we refer to as Justice League, because, and not just that, but they also jumped in and did the same thing to some other movies as well, because they were trying to change the narrative mid narrative, you know, like course correcting during, you know, the story instead of just letting it play out. Because if they had just let it all play out the way it was originally intended, we'd be done by now and already starting on a new narrative for these same characters with different actors in different situations. And yeah, I mean, it's so. Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence in Warner Brothers as a company.
Yeah, it's like somebody on a stream of mine a couple weeks ago said that the reason Disney does so well is that they let the directors know what the vision is, then they film it, whereas Warner Brothers, they let the directors film their vision, then they tell them what their vision is.
Right? Oh, that's a great movie. By the way, we want it more like this. And
like, why the hell do they film all that stuff then?
Yeah. Well, and that's what it comes back to, you know, when you have someone like a Kevin Feige who has this whole story, this whole universe, kind of, he's the architect of all of this, and so he's able to keep everybody in line, keep everybody, you know, he's had directors where they have had to, you know, leave projects due to you know, creative differences, because
prestigious directors when he was like nobody.
Exactly.
Wild,
I mean, even recently with Scott Derrickson, I mean he had to step away because he was like, yeah, it's not going to work out then.
And Scott Derrickson was like such a good little boy about it too. It's like crazy to me. Like anyway, sorry.
But that's the kind of control that Feige has, is that he says, hey, look, you know, who knows how many times they came to this conclusion, like, okay, well, that's going too far off from where we need to be at. And then eventually he probably just said, you know what, then I don't think I can do this project. Which is
I heard that George Lucas left the Avengers for creative differences.
100% confirmed.
It has been noted.
It also, when you're talking about the Justice League, it also didn't help that the first trailer that Zack released in March of that 2017,
the Comic-Con trailer.
No. The one he released where he teased it a couple days before with these little 10-second spots of all the characters, and then it came out on a Saturday at like 12 noon, and it was the one that starts off with Bruce putting the saddle on the horse. That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That trailer is so remarkable, like ridiculously different than the movie. Yeah. It doesn't help that you let all of these trailers come out with all of these scenes in them that just did not make the movie, period.
Yes. And that was one of the biggest things that I noticed too, is that when I first saw the movie in theaters, I was so excited to see it. And after it was done, I remember I saw it with my brother, and the first thing he said was, hey, there was a bunch of scenes that weren't in this movie that we saw in the trailers. Like when he's talking to Diane, and she goes, "Is it more and more, more or less?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's true. That wasn't in the movie, huh?" I was like, "What the hell?"
Don't lie, you loved it.
Yeah, he was like, "This is the
best
movie ever."
But I mean, I was optimistic. Don't get me wrong. I was optimistic. You know, I was trying to convince myself, like, yeah, this was pretty good. And then soon after, it was like, yeah, this is garbage. So
that was me with like Rise of Skywalker. So initially after Rise of Skywalker, I was like a huge fan. Like I was like, yes, they did it. And then like as time went on, I was like, oh no. And I like went back and I was like, how many views did those videos get? Ah, shit.
I was the same way, man. When I saw it on opening night, and I saw it at this little theater that was in Tahoe, because we were up there, and they had couches and stuff. It was a really cool theater, right? And I saw it, and then when we got out, the first thing I did was I went on Twitter and I was like, JJ hit it out of the park. I was like, man, that was so good. Yeah. And then when I saw it again, I was like, damn it.
Josh, you still get comments on that video all the time, don't you? So like, you're not a real Star Wars fan. Like, how'd you think that was good?
Well, the worst part was that like there was a lot of controversy like leading up to it, so I was like already pissed. So I was like pissed. So I was like making my review like pissed, dude. And so that wasn't good either. I was like so mad. I remember saying like, all these critics are full of shit, like just going in.
You can suck it. The only one that's positive is Andre from Nickatina Show.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out. They tried to fit too much into that movie.
Definitely, dude.
And it'd like if that was a series, let's say that was like a 3-part series, it would have been better to kind of flesh that out. But the way they packed everything in there, it was just like, whoa, what's happening? What's happening?
You know what's funny is like he's so good at making movies that he made a very not good movie he made a 2-hour goobly glob not good movie like trick millions of people because it's such a good ride as an adventure that you don't notice all the horribleness until afterwards.
Yeah, because it's nonstop. It keeps going and you're excited.
Well, it doesn't want you to catch up, right? It doesn't want you to catch up and start thinking about it.
Yeah. Don't stop and think, just keep going.
And number two, you have a lot of people going in just Star Wars alone. They already have the goggles on. Like this thing is gonna be awesome. And so yeah, I mean they go in and they watch it and it's shit. And I mean, not to dump on it because we got two people on the panel. I can't name who in jerseys, but
what did I just say about Rise of Skywalker? Yeah. What did I just say?
Well, it's not even Rise of Skywalker. Dawson's a huge fan of the Last Jedi.
No, so I defend it. I just don't think it's as bad as people say.
That movie sucks.
I still think
there's some great scenes.
The trilogy as a whole narratively is shit.
Nickatina, what's so bad about The Last Jedi?
They should have taken a lot longer.
Don't go down.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't say anything. God,
nice.
We don't want to go down that road because we all
exactly. Otherwise, it's turning into
a Star Wars stream. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure Josh has been down that road as well. And that's the thing too is that I tell my wife all the time. I go, there's two topics that are very controversial to talk about when you do YouTube. One is politics. Two is Star Wars. When you start going deep into Star Wars, especially if you're at Josh's level, and you're like, hey, I think
try to explain
this
to
was
people.
cool.
I try to explain to people. I'll be like, it'll be like family Christmas or whatever, or like a holiday thing with people, and they'll be like, hey, so how's life? And I'm literally like dead ass like, oh man, it's been a rough year. Like Star Wars fans are really crazy. And they're like, dude, leave me alone. Like, don't come over here anymore. Like, it's hard to explain, but yeah, it is pretty weird, man. It can get toxic. I actually haven't done a straight Star Wars video in weeks, actually. Yeah, I talk about it on the stream here and there, and then I do a podcast with Star Wars Theory every Monday, but I haven't done it. Yeah, but I haven't done my own video for a while, and honestly, it's been pleasant, dude. Like,
you're like, I'm never going back.
I told everybody, I was like, I'll come back for Book of Boba. Now, I'll come back when the new Bad Batch series comes out or whatever. And then if there's crazy news, like, I mean, I did talk about the Gina thing on stream today, but honestly, here's the thing, like real talk, I wouldn't have been able to talk about it the way I did had I been talking about Star Wars for the past 3 weeks, because it would have just been like, like another Star Wars thing.
They had it again.
Yeah, exactly. They done it again. It allowed me to
Toy Story.
Yeah, dude. Like, so I was, it actually worked out. So,
hey, what's up, Mark?
Oh my goodness, that's too.
But yeah, it's definitely a very controversial topic, and I see where you're going at earlier when you're talking about the Snyder Cut. However, there was big news that dropped today, and that was the teaser trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League, which we're going to see this year on March 18th.
Do we have a clip?
I think we do.
Yes, we do.
Okay, now, guys, I want to put this out there real quick. Josh has not seen this trailer, so this is fresh eyes.
Yeah, it's true. Give me a second.
And I will harshly judge. No.
He's like, I'm about to rip this thing apart.
Pinky out.
Hold on.
Oh boy, he's gonna toss that on us,
dude.
You're ruining it for Josh.
When you share the video,
it's not good so far.
It automatically starts playing.
So it's gonna start with 3 days.
In case you hadn't noticed.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're about to watch this trailer. I know all of you out there probably have seen it. Josh hasn't. I've probably watched it 1,000 times at work, risking
way
trouble.
to flex on everyone.
Your managers are like, what?
Way to not work your job.
I know, right? Hey, cheers for me. And all right. So here we go. Here is the 17-second teaser, and probably going to be more before Sunday's full-length trailer. I don't know how long it's going to be, but here we go.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wow.
That was dope, dude.
Mighty tasty.
Yeah, so that's where that Superman image came
One
from.
more time.
Yes. One more time.
Flapping cheeks.
Dang, dude. Yo, Cavill's so good. How are they really gonna let that man leave? Like, because
They better not.
Absolutely no way.
Yo, I heard that they are, and I heard that it's J.J. Abrams' fault.
But I've heard that too. But at the same time,
J.J.
Abrams, because there's been talk
really
that they're
good
going to give him his own Superman franchise. But I think if they do that, it's going to be through WB Pictures, because you don't put this much stock into making the Snyder Cut and not want to continue on with the story that was already set up,
or at least finish it off,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like saying, we're gonna make we're gonna have Boba Fett show up in Star Wars, in The Mandalorian, but then we're just gonna drop him after this, and that'll be the end of it. It's like, no,
so you don't buy into the whole thing, because here's my thing. Like, I honestly, I was on that train for a long time, but I literally believe more recent events may have changed that. Like, so do you guys not believe any of that? Because I know some people are saying that. I know Grace has reported that. I don't know how you guys feel about Grace. Every time I say her name,
it depends on her take.
Yeah,
it depends on the take.
Hit or miss a lot. Yeah,
I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
That's an impression, dude.
He practices it in the mirror every morning.
Yeah, holy hell, that's not bad. Damn,
it's even better when we actually have a Grace tweet and we'll have Ryan narrate it.
Yeah. I do a deep fake. It's pretty good.
But as far as like the continuation of Zack Snyder's arc, we do know, like, people in Warner Brothers don't want it to continue, right? We know, like, Toby Emmerich is obviously one of them, because obviously this coming out and it being as good as we think it will be is going to make him look absolutely terrible. But I think the thing that might happen here is, at least now, keep in mind, I don't necessarily fully understand the whole contractual things and everything like that, but what I think will probably happen is, if Zack Snyder's Justice League is successful, it gets the views that, that would suggest that the need for a follow-up, right? I think they would try to, that AT&T and HBO Max would be stupid and not try and work something out to where Warner Brothers doesn't touch Zack Snyder's next two movies with Justice League and them filming it back to back.
Right.
Which I think that'd be the situation where I think it'd be most likely where Zack Snyder would finish it out, is if he's promised that people like Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada just will not touch the thing.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, he's developed, or he started, Stone Quarry, which is his own production company. And that's already attached to, Wonder Woman 84, the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman, this Justice League movie. And going forward, even with JJ was reportedly working on Jail Dark. But if he is awarded a Superman show, I don't see why it would not be something similar to Matt Reeves' Batman, where it's just in a different take, with a different actor as Superman, and like Dawson was saying, Zack Snyder could live on HBO Max, and release it on HBO Max as incentive for people to keep their subscriptions.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is the first time that, especially we as YouTubers, can actually really relate to what HBO Max is doing, because they want clicks and views and they want subscribers. I mean, so do we, right? So it's like, so when we talk about this,
you're giving away our entire game plan, Andre. Shut up.
Everybody's about to unsubscribe right now.
I know. But when we talk about like these streaming services, like, it's very relatable in that sense. Where you're like, so they really need to make this. Because I mean, it's one thing to say, "Hey, look, it's going to be out in the theaters, and they're going to get the box office money." But this time, it's really about retaining subscribers and getting those massive views. So, I mean, that's why I think it's interesting that we have at least some kind of relation to that and understanding of that.
Yeah,
I like relations.
Yeah, relations are good.
Relations good. Yo, so here's my thing. It's like I'm actually totally in agreement with you guys. I think it's the smart play, but we're talking about the studio that might give Amber Heard her own thing. You know what I mean? So like my thing is like
that's still that whole Walter Hamada.
Yeah.
And that
he's the guy that's
no
cul-de-sac, right? He's the cul-de-sac guy.
He's the cul-de-sac
guy. Yes.
But actually, I mean, that was taken out of context. That was actually, inferred by the writer of that article. It wasn't a quote from Walter. He was just like, the way he was describing it to me was like a cul-de-sac that, ice cream.
Which is, of course, is up to interpretation with
it's like editorial. Yeah, right. Well, that happened with Lizzie Olsen recently with that Luke Skywalker thing. Oh. She never said that. It was the way the question was phrased, and then the guy prints that she says, same thing.
That destroys my whole narrative now.
Andre, I believe I told you.
I mean, look, but
it's still there.
It's hard to know the truth of these things nowadays. That's just but that's from my understanding, that's what happened. Yeah,
I knew it was going to be Pietro, but the other Pietro is what like baffled me. I was like, oh shit.
Right.
Spoilers.
Right. Yeah. Spoilers. So Josh, let's switch gears here and let's talk about a show that we've all been watching. I do a watch party. You do a watch party. It's WandaVision on Disney.
We all do watch party.
We all do watch parties, right? Okay, so far I've really fallen in love with this show. I love how there's so many details. You have to really pay attention to what they're saying, what's happening around them to really catch on to the story. But this last episode, a previous episode, when we got to see Evan Peters' Quicksilver show up, I mean, what was your reaction when you saw him at the front door and saying, "Hey, what's going on?" I mean, do you think that he is the Evan Peters from what he said? He was like, "Hey." But do you think that he is a Quicksilver from the Fox universe?
Yes, I do. But also there are leaks that came out literally hours ago that seem to be real.
I saw that notification for your channel, and I was like, no.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah. So here's what I'll say. Without going into full details, my faith in my previous theory is a little bit shaken. So we'll have to see what happens. My original theory was that it was absolutely the X-Man. In my explanation of it is that he is Pietro, he is her brother, but he's from the different universe, but he still has a connection to her. I think the themes they're playing with in the show are something. I mean, if her kids are fake, but she still loves them, which is, by the way, what happens in House of M as well, right?
Exactly.
But that's the whole idea, is like, what's real, what's not real. Love is real, right? So no new leaks, no worries. All I'll say is that I think we're in for a really weird wild ride, and they're gonna tease out what it means.
Do you think it has a connection to the multiverse of madness?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. That's
absolutely. Yeah, and there's like a lot of that kind of stuff. Like, have you guys heard the Tom Cruise Iron Man rumors?
Yeah.
No, but we heard the Tom Cruise Green Lantern rumors.
I would love for that to be real, because that would be kind of dope.
I'd love to see him do his own stunts as a Green Lantern.
Dude, for sure, right? I think he would be an incredible, because he might come in as an evil Tony Stark, and that to me is so meta, because Tom Cruise is kind of an evil Tony Stark. Like when he hired the robots.
Wasn't it between Robert Downey and Tom for the original? Yeah.
Well, that's what Feige's doing, is he's going to bring in probably Krasinski as Cap, because Krasinski was going to be Cap. He's going to bring in Joaquin Phoenix as Doctor Strange, because Joaquin Phoenix was going to be Doctor Strange. So he's going to set up an alternate version of the Avengers that were like the precast. And I think actually that he might turn those into villainous Avengers.
Yeah,
which would be
awesome.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
What are the chances you think that we're going to get, let's say, like a Hydra Cap as we move forward, especially into Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I definitely think Hydra Cap's on the table. That's the big rumor with Chris coming back. So with Chris's new contract, is that it's a big rumor that he will be Hydra Cap in Doctor Strange 2. Now, my theory on this is that, again, originally they were going to do that with Krasinski, but when Chris said he would come back, which I think Feige mostly wants for Wolverine projects, actually, interestingly enough. But when he agreed to come back, I think Feige just sort of audibled and was like, dude, let's put Chris Evans as Hydra Cap. And sort of, do the same thing that he had been planned, that he had planned before. So
my thing with the whole multiverse thing with Marvel is I kind of feel like a jaded fan. I'm kind of referring to Far From Home. right? Because they had commercials and where Spider-Man literally says, "So there's a multiverse," and everybody freaked out, and everyone's like, "Who's gonna come in? Like, what's this whole gonna mean?" And you watch the movie, and there's no multiverse thing whatsoever. And I remember going in like and thinking like, "Really?" And so like now I'm hearing all this multiverse stuff again. I'm just like, as a fan, I don't want to get let down again. Yeah. Like, that's why I've kind of been hesitant to think that Evan Peters is the X-Men or Fox X-Men version of Quicksilver. Right. Like, I've always been kind of thinking, like, is he just some guy in the MCU that Wanda, like, hijacks his mind and turns into a version of Pietro? Like, I wouldn't put it past the MCU for, like, doing that.
Yeah. Exactly, because they sort of did that in Spider-Man Far From Home. So now imagine...
Like I just said.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, because of that.
But there's that movie, Spider-Man Far From Home.
I think we actually watch it on Twitch. Anyway, but
yeah, we can. You can totally
it's that same narrative that, like, what if Evan Peters is actually Mephisto, and so that's the whole storyline is that's just Mephisto screwing with not only Wanda and Vision, but he's also screwing with us too, and essentially. But I mean, that would be him, and so then that would kind of shoot down the whole multiverse idea, because I mean, I went into great length that I felt that if there is a multiverse and he is from the X-Men universe, that they're going to introduce Charles Xavier at the end of the show, which would then be a way of saying, hey, look, this is about to explode now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Please tell him he's wrong.
I know, yeah.
He's so funny.
He's like, okay, are you done? Okay, yeah, that's not happening.
No, actually, believe it or not, I think Charles Xavier is high on the list of actual probable things, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense, too.
Well, because also Feige did...
You were our only hope to discredit Nickatina. I know. You were our only hope.
We're not going to hear the end of it.
It makes sense, dude. It makes sense.
Look, he did legit meet... Feige did legit meet with Patrick Stewart. That's on record, and Patrick even gave comments to why he wouldn't come back.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But do you think
I'm sure one of those things was his age. I'm sure.
Well, it was actually all about Logan. His whole thing was Logan was such a great send-off for the character and for that universe. But if Feige convinced Jackman to come back, which I also believe he did, then I see no reason as to why Sir Patrick Stewart wouldn't come back as well.
Okay, so right there, when we talk about which you've already debunked, so this is going to throw my whole narrative off. If you talk about a Luke Skywalker-esque, cameo at the end of the show, to me, the only person that would be a Luke Skywalker-esque would be not only Charles Xavier or Magneto. Let's say it's Fassbender and McAvoy. Let's say if you went that route, but the biggest one would be Hugh Jackman Wolverine. If he came with one of them, then it would make, then it would tie in like, oh my God. I mean, imagine if you saw Hugh Jackman showing up, but he's Wolverine.
What could he do to
no, but I'm saying he would be with one of them. Like he'd be with Charles Xavier. I mean,
they're walking up the street.
I understand the Charles Xavier because he's
well, and in the House of M, Wolverine played a huge part in that storyline, and also Charles Xavier as well. He was the only one that was strong enough to communicate with her.
House of M is kind of a Logan story, actually. It's almost all about Wolverine, really. But they're clearly not going to do that, though. You know what I mean? So,
can you imagine if they did?
What? They can't. The show's like they can't.
I was like, but hear me out.
They reveal it at the end. No, that's interesting stuff. I'll say this, man. That Luke Skywalker thing definitely got people thinking. I wonder how much that was just created by the interviewer. But I will also say that Bettany had those comments where he was like, I'm so pumped that I get to play across from this one, whoever. Yeah. Some people think it could be Pacino as Mephisto or something, right? Which would be like mind blowing. Yo.
Hey, Wanda, what are you doing here?
Wanda's got a big on that. No, I'm sorry.
Dunkachino. Get your Dunkachino.
Right? Say hello to my little friend.
Oh shit, dude. That would be amazing, dude. That would be amazing. So with the multiverse though, man, I'll tell you, I think Feige, because of the Flash movie, actually, this is kind of funny. I think after that, Mike, everybody here loves probably Humberto Gonzalez, right? I'm assuming you guys are all huge fans.
Big time.
Yeah, I have a shirt. To be honest, I have no idea.
Great joke.
Yeah. So anyway, awesome. I think he was saying like that. fuck, I even forget now. I'm like totally losing my train of thought.
Well, here we refer to him as Dumberto Gonzalez.
Yeah, if that helps.
Yeah. We didn't know who you were talking about at first.
Yeah, didn't he have oh man, what were
him and Scott Mendelson?
Yeah, I think I call him Scott Mendel douche.
Yes,
but I wonder if didn't he talk to the cameo as well or something like that? I'm trying to think of what he said about it.
Not gonna lie, I have no idea what he said in the past like 5 months.
I feel like there's a reason I wanted to bring that up, and I was doing it ironically, and now
you let that brew, okay? You let that brew, and when it's ready, you serve it up.
He just pulled a Nickatina. We have no idea where he is narratively.
I have no idea. I've lost all the threads. I have no idea how.
There's no connective tissue.
Pull me back in. Yeah,
but
so
I mean,
when it comes,
go ahead,
all I'll say is just something, just so I don't sound like complete brain absent person. I actually think it could be any number of ridiculous characters, but I also think it could be the Avengers. So I think like Chris Evans, Tony Stark, like all of them. I've heard this weird rumor that she might literally manifest like all the Avengers.
Dude. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about that too.
By manifesting, what do you
like bring them into the TV show?
Yeah, like creating her own, like essentially, okay, so if like maybe Mephisto or Nightmare is revealed to be the big bad, right? And they need to fight against this crazy thing that she may manifest a group of Avengers or something. But yeah, I don't think it would be Hugh Jackman. It could be Magneto. That would be so sick. Like I'm a big fan of that character.
Because that was one of the things, the agreements that they had with Fox was that you cannot, Disney cannot, allude to their father,
right?
And then Fox couldn't make him a part of the Avengers or couldn't make him X-Men or something. I don't remember what Fox, but they each had to like respect each other's version of these characters.
Yeah, it's so wild though. Have you guys seen the interview with Evan Peters during the press for Dark Phoenix?
Or he just like looks,
they're like
around. People are reading too much into that.
Nah, bro.
No, I watched it.
I watched it. So for us who haven't seen it yet, what exactly happened?
Yeah.
So he's on there, and the interviewer is like being super cheeky and is like, with now Marvel buys Fox, would you guys want to be in Marvel? Like, what's that like? And all the other actors are doing their usual actor like bullshit, where they're just like, it'd be great, but and like Evan Peters is really like
blah blah.
Like kind of
like
like
looking
that.
Around like he was lost.
Yo.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, when I
Marvel,
saw that, I was like, dude, this man has a contract. Like, this man has a contract. Because
they didn't brief me on this question.
It seems so odd because the rest of them are like literally going in on it, and he's just like,
I really liked the guy that they had before from Age of Ultron. His character was so wasted, but I dug it, and I was wishing like with the snap or whatever that they could have like brought him back at the end or something, and because I mean he was kick ass whatever. I forget his name, but
he played
a good actor.
Husband in Godzilla.
Yeah, in Godzilla. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
I liked him.
Yeah, they were both in Godzilla together.
I didn't like the other guy, Evan Peters, because I mean he was wearing a wig, and the wig looked horrible in every movie he was in. It was like, dude, that's a wig. It's like, come on, that's a wig. It looks hella stupid. They could, I mean, the goggles kind of hid it a little bit, but it was a wig, and it didn't look good.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people feel the reverse of that, actually. Like that a lot of people love the Fox version. And this is actually one of the
sequences.
Rare...
I love that. I like him as a character. I just didn't like the fucking wig.
Yeah, I don't know. The wig never like really bothered me. Yeah. I like both versions, but I did think that this was kind of an interesting example because most of the time I think people would say like, oh, the Marvel did it better or whatever. But this is one of those rare instances where it was like, oh no, it was definitely better over there. I'd say there's a few other examples that they're very hard to think of. You know what I mean? But
that's definitely an example where Fox got it right or it got it better than what Marvel did.
Like of course it's subjective, but
right, of course.
But his scenes were, especially in Days of Future Past, when when they're trying to escape that facility and all the guards show up, then he goes into his whole, he's running around. Dude. That was the best scene of the. I mean, I liked the movie a lot, but that was the one scene where you were like, wow, this is awesome. Right. What's going on right now?
But it was very reminiscent of Nightcrawler from X-Men 2. I was like, okay, this is Brian. This is where Brian really shines as a director. And so he, of course, did it again in the other movie, and it was very similar. When he's saving all the kids from the mansion, from not mansion, from the school as it gets blown, blown up. Yeah. But those are very really, fun, like visuals to just watch. Stop motion. Oh, not stop motion.
You get the music playing as well.
The music's great.
I could save time.
Yeah, dude.
A bottle.
What a great no. Scene.
Only
he just like touches her face.
It's
like
the sweet one.
No. She's here. The wife is at home.
Give me the drop, man. Give me the drop, and I can play. Yes, give me the
drop.
I'll be
a little inside info for you, Josh. So one time on a stream, I did the Sweet One jingle from Dr. Pepper's
more
commercial.
Than once.
Yeah, more than once.
Well, one time before it kickstarted.
You had cojones.
Oh wow!
No, guys. If he does it now, watch. He's gonna crawl under his desk. Watch. Do it.
Oh no!
I'm joking.
All right. Let's you, dog. So yeah, that's the thing behind that. And
so his wife will literally jump over his table and attack.
She doesn't like it. Let's just say that.
But Josh, he sounds just like it. Just like
nice.
Yeah. I mean,
why does the wife attack you then?
She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it.
It was on one of my streams, and he kept talking about Dr. Pepper. I was like, I mentioned it, and he was like, yeah, it's the sweet one. We were like, oh, do it again. So he did it like 20 times on that stream, and then when it was done, his wife was like, if I hear the sweet one more time, I'm gonna cut you down.
So I kind of did it to myself.
That reminds me of the friggin' Seinfeld with the hello. And then like at the very end he like opens the door and he's like one more time hello. Yeah. Hit her with another.
Pretty much, yeah. So that's why Enosh, my good friend, sent me this little sweet Funko Pops. That's why I have that.
Yeah,
nice.
As a reminder that your wife will kill you.
Yes. She laughs when I got in the mail. Like I showed her, like, look, I got sent the sweet one. And she's like, ha, that's hilarious. It's great. Don't say it a lot.
Waiting.
Waiting for it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
she's ready. She's ready, dude.
Is it still in the box?
So in terms of other cameos that we could see, do you think that in WandaVision, do you think that we're going to see possibly Doctor Strange?
Oh, yeah. No, I think Doctor Strange is more or less confirmed. And I actually hope that Doctor Strange isn't who either one of them we're talking about, like whether it's the Luke thing.
Yeah, because that'd be kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be because
he's par for the course for this, like, and the fact that we know the movie that Lizzie's going to be in his movie and that and all that, that wouldn't be really shocking, I think, right? So
yeah,
right.
Well, and then they made the reference to an aerospace engineer, remember? And so that one, who do you think she was referring to in that statement?
Actually, long shot here, but Riri Williams. Actually, I think they're going to bring in a version of Riri Williams. Yeah.
Riri,
really.
Yep. And I think part of the reason is because Riri in the MCU is going to sort of be connected to several shows that are coming out in the next couple of years, including Secret Invasion, Armor Wars, maybe even a little Miss Marvel, and she'll be connected to like Monica and Carol and all those characters. So either that or that little Skrull girl. Remember the little Skrull girl that Monica was like homies with back in the day? In Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah,
that would be sick too. That would be sick too, because I wouldn't mind seeing some Skrulls.
That's right. She does know who the Skrulls are. That's a good point. Yeah, you always kind of forget that. That's like the one point that you just always forget about is the Skrulls that they exist. It's like that's kind of a hard thing to forget, but we forget it all the time.
It's on the whiteboard in one of the episodes when Hayward is trying to, or when Jimmy Woo and them are trying to figure it out. It says who's responsible, and Skrulls are written down there, which would imply that the events of Secret Invasion are sort of already being sort of looked at. And when Monica comes into that one episode and she asks Hayward what's up with the astronaut program, I believe she is referring to the Sword Base, which Nick Fury, the real Nick Fury, is on at scene at the end of Far From Home.
Yeah.
And I was kind of leaning more towards Fantastic Four, but that one makes sense.
It could be, it could be both. I think Fantastic Four, they're going to make them like out of time, like they're trapped in the quantum realm or some shit.
Yes. Yes.
But like, but like, it's possible that Hayward does not want Monica to go meet with Nick Fury and meet with the Sword Base because he's a nefarious actor as well. So there could be some really interesting like interplay with that side of the show, which would be sweet.
Yeah, that is interesting. That's very, very interesting. Now we're all blown away. All right.
I know. I'm shocked right now. I'm like, man.
Damn.
But I mean, if they were able to actually bring back, let's say, for a cameo, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark in some form, and then, or even, I think you had mentioned before too, the idea of what if someone like, they had an appearance of Thanos in this hex. I mean, they could really do a lot of crazy things and really get people excited. So no, WandaVision has been a really, really surprisingly good show. I mean, I thought it was gonna be good from the start, but I didn't think it'd be this good. And then when you look ahead at Falcon and Winter Soldier, to me it looks more like an action-packed type of series, but I mean that could just be from the trailer. We really don't know like the exact story.
Yeah, really, it's just they're sitting behind desks. And there's like one mission they go on. So.
A lot of handshakes.
The rest of the time they're just like, well, we could do this. Nah, I don't feel like it. And over
we could have a staring contest for a couple episodes.
Hey, yeah, man. Or they get like, put on the pencil pushers or whatever. And they just do paperwork the entire time.
They do the desk football, with the paper clip.
Yes.
Yeah, man. There's precedence for that too. No, that show's gonna be
all right. Touchdown.
This is actually my most anticipated Marvel show out of the first batch of even Loki and stuff. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was my most anticipated. I love those two actors together, but also from everything that I've sort of heard about the show. I mean, if people think WandaVision has crazy surprises and has mutants, there's some wild shit coming in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like,
I'm sure
wild.
Yeah, I agree. That's the one that I'm looking forward to the most, is that one, just because again I've liked those characters more so than the rest of the shows that are going to be coming out. What was I going to say talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier? Oh gosh, you're saying. Never mind. I just lost my train of thought. Somebody else go.
Okay.
I'm too embarrassed. I'll think about it eventually.
Andre tonight.
I know, right?
I wouldn't do that. What are you talking about?
You just did it earlier.
Yeah, so did Josh, and so did Dawson. Anyway,
True.
So where do you think that? Because I mean, Falcon Winter Soldier is going to be the next story that spawns off of WandaVision, I would imagine. So I mean, do you think this will take place in some kind of alternate universe? Is it going to take place in the MCU universe where you're dealing with where do you think it's going to go at this point?
Yeah, so I would say it will be grounded and it will take place in the wake of Endgame and probably be happening sort of congruent to maybe the events of WandaVision. And it's like interesting because even though Wanda's probably breaking all of reality, it's technically only happening in like a little small town in New Jersey, right? So
yeah, exactly.
They can be doing all sorts of wild stuff, but I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier will span the globe. Actually, I know we're gonna go to Madripoor, which any like Marvel fan should be like super excited about actually seeing Madripoor. And there's gonna be all kinds of crazy stuff in Madripoor. True. There's big time rumors that even the Inhumans and some Terrigen Mist stuff might be happening. So I think the show, this is the reason that I'm so excited about the show, and I don't want to get like too spoilery or whatever. But
go for it.
Well, I personally think that they're going to really build the Thunderbolts and build towards maybe if it's not the Dark Avengers, definitely the Thunderbolts, where Ross is going to ultimately maybe be the bad guy of the show, and his machinations and like the Flag Smasher organization and even maybe the Inhumans it's all a long play by Ross to basically consolidate more power.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, and like create the Thunderbolts to then have more control. Because ultimately, and this is what's ironic, is he actually does want to protect the planet. Like Ross is just a crazy person and he's just a military war dog, right? So he just thinks that that's the way you do it. I mean, the Hulk project was to build a weapon. He wants weapons, that's his thing. So
great movie, by the way, that one with Edward Norton.
I like that film for sure. And actually I think some of those people might be showing up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier from that show or from that movie actually.
Okay.
Ooh, look at that. There it is right there.
Me stroking my non-existent beard over that curiosity.
No, it should be a lot of fun. I mean, I really can't wait for that show to premiere.
Yeah.
And you can find we'll be doing a watch party on my channel, the Nickatina Show. Anyhow,
boot him now.
Shamelessly plug myself.
What did he say?
Wow.
You can find what?
Muted.
No, I would just kick him out for the rest of the show.
Oh, okay. Peace out.
Yes.
I don't even know what he said. Women of the Watchtower? Is that what he said? What did he say?
Watchtower. Oh yeah, like in DC. Interesting.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I said. And then I guess so from here you would go you go WandaVision, you go Falcon Winter Soldier, and then you would go into what's the next one after that with Loki?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, I remember about it now.
Got it.
So yes, something unlocked my memory about it. So with Loki, I love Tom Hiddleston and everything. I think the show's gonna be very intriguing. And this is a very nitpicky thing, I know. Yeah. But does the logo for the show bother anybody else?
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
No, it drives me crazy.
Why? It changes, doesn't it?
I know the fonts and the inconsistencies of the font it drives my mind.
It goes
insane.
with his personality.
Yeah,
I don't care. It's just
something.
You're on your own here, buddy.
Yeah.
I know I am. I figured I was, but like it artistically, just looking at it, like when I look at fonts and look at logos, like I like consistency, but that one just doesn't, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, the show is probably gonna be great. Let's be honest here.
No, you
it's just
me. It will be horrible
like
because of the font.
Yeah, because of the font.
Because of the font.
I'm just gonna be watching every episode, and the logo's gonna come up like F this.
So what are you triggered? Are you triggered right now or something?
Very.
I just need to watch your reviews of the episodes now that are like, it's all right, but that's
just to see how biased I am.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was a great episode. But that fucking font.
That font, man.
It ruined the show for me. So tune in
that
next time.
font.
Freak that
font.
Anyway, that's what came to mind. So,
but Josh, let me ask you, where do you think that storyline takes place? Because remember, he's in some other realm or in some other universe. I'm not sure where he's at.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas on where it could be taking place?
Yeah. So I think
he's like, you don't know, but I do.
Yeah, he's like,
I don't know for sure.
about this. You guys are gonna
I don't know for
dry.
sure. But I heard what I think is the TVA, that place, like the Time Variance Authority. I believe it will not just have time, but universes. So time technically exists in all of the universes, right? Mm-hmm. So the TVA seemingly has a multiverse branch division, and Loki may well be there because of what's happening in Breaking. And I think when he sort of wakes up the Tesseract, we've seen that scene of him like in the desert or whatever. He has no idea where he's at. It's bad news. He gets taken in by the TVA. And what's interesting is it seems like he's getting taken in by people that can just like they're like way more powerful than him. And some people think that even the beings that are perhaps there are actually more like universal constants. Like one of them is actually named Dr. Mobius or Mr. Mobius. And you guys remember in Endgame, there's that Mobius strip that Tony inverts to figure out the time travel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you look closely at the suit of Owen Wilson in that trailer, it's an inverted suit, meaning like the parts that normally like are out are in.
Oh, okay.
And so some people think that what happened and what you might see take place in the show is sort of like it's like an anthropomorphization of maybe universal constants or even the gems themselves becoming beings and trying to figure out what the hell is going on with the multiverse.
And is it just me, or did Owen Wilson kind of look like Howard Stark? Did you son of a gun?
There it is.
You had to.
That is so awesome.
But yeah, no. In that trailer, Owen Wilson looked like Howard Stark to me. I mean, am I crazy? Or
I mean, a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really see it. I loved him in the trailer though.
He did. He was awesome in the trailer, but like it looked like the look they were trying to go for with the older Howard Stark, like that you saw in Endgame and stuff. Because I had to take a double take because at first I thought it was just Howard Stark. I was like, okay, what the heck? He must have traveled back in time. Then looked again. I was like, wait a minute, that's Owen Wilson. Yeah. He just needed to say wow, and then I could tell it was him. You know,
you know what else?
I can't wait for him to say ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Yeah, you know what? I also there's a big rumor that Kang the Conqueror is going to be in the show.
Really?
Yeah, and so that's really interesting when it comes with time and Kang and all these other kind of weird things that are going on, and also potentially other Universal versions of Thor and Loki will be in the show as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it seems like wild, dude. I don't know. That's the one for me that's like that show just seems like it's going to be wild. I think it's going to be even crazier than WandaVision.
Yeah, like this is setting up so that when you get to Loki, it'll just go off the rails. Like
you're more used to crazy stuff happening.
Like, crazy already. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I think it looks great. I think that
it does.
Look at it, man. Look at it.
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
Oh man.
That's great work.
Look at the K. The K.
I love the emboss, the glow,
the
the texture. Oh man,
yeah, the eye looks like a piece of kryptonite, dude.
Yeah,
man. Let's go. Look at Dawson. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gonna be a part of this one.
All right. So moving on.
I resign. That's fine. You guys like it. It's just gonna take some getting used to for me personally. So
yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Beta Ray Bill will be sick.
Yeah.
So that brings up another conversation. We'll probably go to Zach's. I was just thinking a little bit, but the thing also came out recently was those set photos for Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah. And we saw pictures of Chris Hemsworth jacked now with like a rocker jacket. And I wanted to run something by you. I want to see what your thought was on this. So I have this kind of theory of how Thor is going to be in this movie, right? Because, of course, last time we saw him in Endgame, he was Fat Thor. He was like depressed. And so now that we know he's going to be very cut and like very, ripped, I have a theory he's going to have like a fat man gone skinny complex.
Yeah,
where he's gonna be like super uber confident, always wearing like sleeveless shirts.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would fit the narrative of his character.
I do like that idea actually.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I can't wait. But you know what else the thing is too? Is like I've kind of thought about this too. Like he'll be that for sure, and yet still be awkward around Jane, and that's gonna be hilarious too because she's gonna be like, you look like a mountain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because he does. And she's already commented on it, like actual Natalie Portman. She's like, I look like a doll next to him. You know what I mean? Because he's bulking up for the Hulk Hogan movie, right? So, like, he's getting, like, thick. So,
damn, there he is.
Dude. He's
he's jacked.
Bro, it's ridiculous. And some of the other photos, he looks even bigger, like from the back. It looks absurd. Yeah. So he's getting like rock level of big or whatever.
You know who looks funny though? Star Lord. It looks like Chris Pratt didn't get into shape. It looks
they were like, "Hey, just wear the jacket, you'll be fine."
I know, right?
That covers a lot.
It's like no matter how in shape you get, Chris Hemsworth's going to look better. So
you know what's funny though? Pratt is actually in pretty good shape though.
He is.
Yes.
Because he's dating a Schwarzenegger.
Before when he was on in Parks and Rec, he was like chubby. He was a totally different person then. So it's crazy.
His quote about how he got skinny though was hilarious. So like, how'd you lose all that weight? Beer. Yeah, just stop drinking beer. It's like, okay, I guess that does it.
I know in Parks and Rec, when you went from one season to the next, and he got in shape because he did Guardians of the Galaxy. When you finally see the character again in Parks and Rec, he's living in England with the other character, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on, you guys? I've been living in England. I lost hella weight." He's like, "Things are going great for me."
Yeah.
Also, he's like,
"I always love that guy, man." Yeah, I'm happy that he blew up in the way that he did. Because even James didn't even want him in the movie, you know.
Yeah, I love the speech he gave that one year where he's talking about like what you do in a party when you need to go to the bathroom. It's like why would you need to talk about that? But he just has his personality, just having fun with it.
Yeah,
no, he's great. He's absolutely great. And the last my train of thought. Damn it!
It's going in the
It's because I was thinking about him going. Yeah, what Dawson just said.
Big Thor no more.
Yeah. Actually, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you was what was your thought on Fat Thor in Endgame?
I actually loved it. So
I didn't like it at all. I mean, it was funny at first.
Well, let him finish his thoughts before you comment.
What did you think of that?
That was a dead-on Andre impression right there.
No. So I have a lot of friends that didn't like that and didn't like Hulk. I don't know how you guys feel about Hulk. I also didn't like that.
Yeah,
well, it's one of those things for me where if I would have read it on paper beforehand, I would have been like, "That's lame." but it just worked for me. Like the Fat Thor thing, it just worked for me. I think mostly because Korg. I don't know. I just like. I love Korg and Thor's dynamic. Yeah. And I could just see it like the video game kind of bromance thing where you just like, you know, yeah. So I totally got that. And then when it came to the Hulk, man, I don't know. For some reason, it just worked for me. Like, again, like, I don't know. That scene, it just
the
works
only
for me.
scene that worked for me with the Hulk was the one with the kid. When they were in the
restaurant?
In the restaurant. That's the only
first
one.
One. Yeah, but that's for me the whole one.
The tacos and everything else just didn't work for me. But the one did. You know, I liked it. I liked the scene.
Dude, I love when he's in the back of the truck though and just weighing it down. Yeah. And then you've got that like Hawaiian music. I don't know. There's like little things in that movie that I think are just like little brilliant notes that really do come out well. I will say though that it's definitely not it's not as tight of a movie as Infinity War. Like Infinity War is such a tight movie. But Endgame sort of had to give up being a tight movie to be a great ending, I think. You know what I mean?
Infinity War was such a good movie. I thought that was so much better than, I mean, I thought Endgame was so good. I mean, I enjoyed it, but Infinity War just seemed, I don't know. It obviously it was a darker film, and I wonder why'd you pull that up for? It was a darker film. I mean, and essentially at the end they lost. Spoiler alert here. If you haven't seen it yet. Oops. They lost, but just the way it played out. And my favorite scene in the entire MCU is when Thor arrives in Wakanda. I mean, to me, that is like the most epic scene that they've ever put together.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, badass.
I mean, the Avengers Assemble scene in Endgame was really good, but when Thor arrived in Wakanda, like you almost didn't see that scene totally coming. You knew that he was on his way, and then the way it dropped and with the music, it was just like, oh, this is badass, you know? Yeah, and they ended up losing anyway. So, but still, it was really, really cool. So out of all the MCU movies that are out there, okay, so what is your favorite MCU movie out of the entire library?
Yeah, so I'd still probably have to say Winter Soldier, actually.
Yes.
So I still think it's just...
I knew you were a cool guy, yeah!
Thanks. I still think it's probably the best complete, just from a cinematic perspective, movie in the MCU. Actually... depending on if you consider the Sony movies that or not, I actually think Homecoming might be even second for me. Where Homecoming, because to me it's a John Hughes movie. You know what I mean? Like it's a John Hughes film that also somehow like modernized Peter Parker while also doing things right for the first time with the Peter Parker character ever, in my opinion, like the accent and different things like that. So. It's that one, maybe just because I'm such a Spider-Man fan, that one to me is like super high. I'd probably say Infinity War and Endgame are kind of up there after that, but
what's your least favorite?
My least favorite is it's either Captain Marvel, Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2, Thor 2.
Yeah,
those are sort of like the lower tiers, but I will say that Age of Ultron is way higher for me than most people.
I agree with that. I really enjoyed that one. I loved Ultron.
Yeah,
I loved what's his name,
James Spader.
James Spader. Yeah, I loved his voice performance. I thought it was perfect. Especially the line where he's like,
he also did the mocap too.
Yeah. Just that character overall. Like, yes, it was kind of a step down from what we might have expected from an Agent of Ultron story in a movie. But I loved how menacing he was, a little sarcastic he was. And I did like the interaction between him and Iron Man. It was like, clearly, you've never made an omelet. He literally beat me by 2 seconds. Like, I did like that. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. It was. I think it's a much better movie than people remember because it was just so different than. I actually think it's funny because people shit on a lot of the like phase 2 stuff in Marvel, and I agree, like Iron Man 2 and a lot of, like Thor 2, like there were a lot of missteps, but Ultron actually does something that those movies don't, where it goes in a different direction. Like it's dark, dude.
Yeah,
like,
it's a darker film.
Age of Ultron is dark, especially compared to Avengers 1, and for this to be the first Avengers movie after Disney bought them was weird. You know what I mean? Because I literally think it's a very dark movie, and Wanda in that movie is not a nice girl. You know what I mean? So, it's I like that movie a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And then here's a really tough question I'm going to ask you, but I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
I mean, it's probably Empire. I'd say it's either Empire or Sith. Those two rotate, but also I really like Return of the Jedi as well. So I really like Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
Return of the Jedi was probably the one I rewatched the most as a kid with the VHS I had of the original trilogy, just because like that final battle, Darth Vader and Luke. I mean,
it's a perfect ending. There are very few perfect endings just in literature in general. And that is like one of the only ones. So it's really good.
Ryan, what about you? What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
We already know.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. That's my favorite. That's the most complete movie. Best storytelling, cinematic, everything about it.
The narrative for Empire Strikes Back is just it's so rewatchable. The character development in that movie is the world building in that movie was just fantastic.
Although I will say that although Empire is the best film, I have to say probably Revenge of the Sith is my favorite.
It's fun.
Just because like that was such a great theater experience for me as a kid. Like 8 years old, seeing my hero Anakin Skywalker like betraying the Jedi. I don't cry very often, but I bawled in the theater for that movie.
Really?
Oh, damn.
Really?
Damn.
I was 8 years old to see my hero turn to the dark side. Like, sue me.
Didn't know that was going to happen?
I knew in the back of my mind. I always knew in the back of my mind that it would.
Like, no, you just made me too. I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
no, I always knew in the back of my mind that he would, but like to actually see it on screen is a different story.
Yeah.
So screw you guys.
Well, to me, with Revenge of the Sith, the more tragic story that actually got me was, and I didn't cry, but I felt more like I felt more.
Well, because you weren't 8 years old, okay?
Okay, whatever. But was when Yoda lost. Because the entire time that Yoda is fighting Palpatine, I'm like, I'm hoping so bad that he's gonna win, but I know that he's gonna lose. And so that's the hard part because everyone loves Yoda. You're just like, come on, do it. I know you're not gonna do it though. Because at the end, Palpatine's gonna win. So that was tough
all the way through the series.
All the way through the series, all the way through. When he got to Revenge of the Sith and they're fighting each other, which is a crazy fight in itself. When he's like throwing those big.
That was pretty awesome because to be honest, that was like one of the worst sets ever in the prequels. Was the Senate? It was like stupid floating discs everywhere.
How do they get out?
Exactly. The chancellor from this world,
right?
Would like to.
Like that's absurd.
There is no proof. Actually, there's a lot of video evidence of this. Actually, we're living in a futuristic world, so like, there's a lot of proof of this.
It'd be so funny if they like lost control. Like, I point of order. Oh, hold on. Wait.
Yeah, like it's spinning.
How do I control this?
Someone turn off the spinning.
Yeah.
Where's the technician? He needs to fix this immediately.
My hovercraft is down. I cannot move. Like, hold on.
They've gone up the ventilation shaft.
Hit the nose.
The nose. Oh gosh.
They rolled around in the field together. Oh snap.
Oh,
they did.
Andre cried. Yeah.
It's like that's how me and my wife met.
Hey, she was Bae. She was Bae back in the day, though.
She was.
Yeah,
she was.
I actually thought the ending of Attack of the Clones was really good when it showed, the progression of the story. When it showed
the wedding.
The wedding is one that I enjoyed seeing.
The Death Star plan and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that and then when it showed all of the New Republic
the troops.
The troops all lined up and the ship's taking off and they're playing the Empire music in the background. To me, that was really strong.
That was pretty good.
I was like, wow, this is.
I think Attack of the Clones gets a lot of hate. There's a lot of stuff to like dislike in it.
It's all because of the romantic dialogue. That's all it is.
It was pretty bad.
It's so forced.
It is forced. I agree.
Look past it. But that's my favorite scene out of Attack. I mean, I have a few of them, but my most favorite scene in Attack of the Clones is when you see all the starships taking off and they're playing the Imperial music in the background. To me, that had the biggest effect in terms of like nostalgia and this connection with the other movies. I was just like, wow, there it is. This is the beginning of it right here.
I remember being really little in the theater and sitting next to my dad, and my dad saying like, "So that's where the stormtroopers come from." And as a little tiny kid, I was just like, "Oh."
He's like, "What's a stormtrooper?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Quiet, hold on, I'll tell you later."
He's like, "Well, ask Gina Carano, she knows."
Oh no!
He wasn't ready.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Hey, what's
Pinky in the house? What's good?
Oh, snap, Pinky Sphincter. Oh,
What's up, Kinky? One of my members, actually. I'm very proud of that fact.
nice. That's a fantastic name.
What?
Yes.
It is a great name, yeah.
What are you talking about, Andrew?
What, Andrew?
Your Phantom Menace is like.
What?
The Phantom Menace has some good parts, but
he probably meant hate.
Oh, okay.
I've grown to respect and appreciate a lot of the Phantom Menace now.
It's all too soon.
Because like you look at what the Phantom Menace needed to accomplish, it had to establish what was lost and like the type of government that was before the Empire. And so I watch it now and I'm just like, okay, I see what they're trying to do and I appreciate that. It didn't work to a certain extent, but like I still appreciate what they're trying to do.
Yeah, that's been gotten the whole talk of like the midichlorians, and a lot of fans were not a big fan of that whole concept.
Which is funny, because like a lot of people were like, well, give us George Lucas's sequel trilogy. It's like, well, that dealt even further into the midichlorians. So do you really want that? Like,
well, and that's a whole ironic thing. The whole ironic thing about the Star Wars fandom is that, you know, before the sequel trilogy came out, the prequel trilogy got so much heat saying, oh, you know, it sucked or this is bad.
Yeah.
And now that this has come out, the sequel trilogy, everyone's like, oh, well, the prequel trilogy, that's good because George made those. Yeah. Well, George made those. So
the both
like,
trilogies
now you
suffered,
like it?
but they suffered different things. Like, number one, the prequel trilogy suffered because George was the director. He should have hired somebody else who could actually, you know, converse and get the performances out of the actors that George wanted. But the story, the narrative was fantastic. It was great. It was, you could follow it. You know, it was for kids. Kids could follow it. With the sequel trilogy, they went back to practical effects and all that, and that's great, and great visuals and good actors and actresses. But the narrative sucked, and
it wasn't planned out.
It wasn't planned out. They should have taken a couple, you know, at least another year. The sequel trilogy or the prequels took 3 years between each film, and the sequels, because they wanted to get to the end so they could get to this other stage so they could start making more, you know, more of their money. They took 2 years, and they pushed back, you know, the Rise of Skywalker, but that was for different reasons. But just narratively, the whole, you know, sequel trilogy is shit.
Yeah. Well, even like The Force Awakens, right? So, to me, that's my favorite movie out of all three of the sequel trilogy movies is The Force Awakens, and I thought they set up some cool storylines within that movie. Like hey, like where did the lightsaber come from? I want to know where that came from. Who's she related to? Is she related to anybody? So I thought they set up a lot of cool things in that movie.
Talama Parkwa, and
Josh is like, I'm not even gonna touch that right now.
I know that mean.
Yeah. But my favorite scene in The Force Awakens is when they're trying to get to the quad jumper and it gets blown up. And she goes, okay, the garbage will do. And it pans over to the Millennium Falcon and it plays that theme. Like,
that shit was dope in theater.
That was the best scene. I was like, when I saw that, like, I immediately had a huge smile on my face. I was like, yeah, there it is. And it kind of gave.
And Ryan was like, fuck that shit.
He gets it.
Yes. Yeah. So I thought that when they wrecked it on Starkiller Base, that should have been it for the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
But that machine, that vehicle could not be destroyed ever. Ever.
They tried to do anything and it's like, oh, so good.
They treated it horribly.
Right, but it still almost feels like they treated it a little bit better than like Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill. Like,
R2D2
still around, you know what I mean?
Right, but I mean that thing, the Millennium Falcon has been around since the prequels.
Yeah,
and it was a hunk of junk in A New Hope, and it was garbage in Episode 7. So I was like, dude, let it like have its last hurrah, and then move on to a new design, new ships, new, just new. Give you want a sequel, you want to move away from the nostalgia, then do that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's the drug, though, right? Like they're sort of attached to the nostalgia. Star Wars is a nostalgic series, so. Man, you know, I've spoken at great length on all the big problems that I think they had with the sequels, but ultimately it was treated like a product and not,
I agree.
You know, a story.
Yeah.
And that's part of the big problem, you know. I understand that everybody wanted to make the money very quickly, and I totally get that. And by the way, George isn't innocent in this either, because I mean, ultimately he did sell, and he sell under certain terms, and he forced them in some ways to overpay a little bit so that there was more pressure on them to get a return.
Because there was what was it? There was something to do with like if he didn't sell it, he wouldn't get as much return because of taxes for the next quarter or the next year. Oh. So there was a time limit
of the story
that Iger had to meet. Yeah. And that's why he got stocks as well as what we got.
And he also refused to take any less than the Marvel deal. And at the time, Disney, or rather Lucasfilm, was not a public company, and so all their books were private. Yeah, and they were not in any shape to be bought the way that they were bought.
And he had no treatments. There
was nothing.
When Disney bought Pixar, they had films.
They were profitable. Yeah, agreed.
When they bought Fox, same thing. So Lucasfilm really had nothing, and that's what he was like. Well, episodes 7, 8, and 9, I've got a couple treatments here. If you want it, I can throw on a flannel.
Yep. No, that was it though. And then they were like, we got to move on this really, really quickly. And to their credit, I do think that it's a miracle that Force Awakens came out the way that it did. I think that it was a great experience for a lot of Star Wars fans. I think the problem really with Ryan, what it showed was that they didn't understand.
See, Ryan, your problem is this.
It's not Ryan Johnson, actually, but
they didn't understand because I think Ryan did exactly what he was hired to do. He made a Ryan Johnson Star Wars movie. He is Ryan Johnson, okay? Yeah. So you hire that guy. He's gonna be that weird kind of creative genius kind of dude that's gonna make a movie that pisses half the people off. That's who he is. The mistake was, without having an actual plan and treatments and committing to something, starting with a J.J. Abrams, who in my opinion is just, he's a copy pasta director. Like he doesn't really fully even have his own style. Like he's just very functionally good at movie making. Mm-hmm. So you start with a guy like that, and then you come in with this wild ass independent dude that's like, I'm going to make Luke Skywalker drink titty milk. You know what I mean? And it's just like the most ridiculous thing ever. And they just had no idea what that would do to the fandom, you know what I mean? And then the Rise of Skywalker is their best attempt to plug up all the holes in the dam.
It felt like it was a bunch of check boxes that they had to check. Raylo's got to happen. 100%. Lando's got to be there. Just so many different check boxes.
You know what the problem at the heart of that? And I always say it. You don't make a trilogy with 3 different directors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
At first, it was going to be 3 different directors. Don't do that because there's egos involved with directors. If you're a director esteemed enough to be hired to make a Star Wars film, you're going to have a little bit of ego, and you're going to say, "Well, I want to change this."
Well, see, what they tried to do was they tried to sort of capture lightning in a bottle, like they did in A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and even Return of the Jedi. But even in Return of the Jedi, George had to step back in because they had so many problems with Richard Marquand. Mm-hmm. The cast did, So he had to come in and he had to direct a lot. So Irvin Kershner came in. He did a fantastic job.
Yes.
Kudos to him. He took what George did, which is a very cookie cutter type movie, and he expanded upon it. He expounded upon it, and he did a great job.
Yeah. I like, dude. He was great, and it was cool. He was George's one of George's professors at film school.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it was cool.
Oh yeah, he was. Yes.
Yeah, and when George came, went back and got that dude, and he was like, "Hey man, you've always been great. Help me make this."
Oh, it's
movie.
an Empire of Dreams. That special.
Yeah.
He says, "I want you to do the next Star Wars." He's like, "What?"
Yeah,
I don't want to do fucking stuff.
That would have been such a weird. Can you imagine teaching George Lucas and then him coming back and being
after he's made this blockbuster film? Yeah.
He's like, I made American Graffiti and Star Wars, and I gave my Indiana Jones to my good friend Steven Spielberg.
I did. Pretty much, and just killed the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the expectations on me are kind of overwhelming.
I wouldn't mind some support.
Okay. What if I gave you a flannel?
Wait till they see Jar Jar. They're gonna love
it. See Jar Jar. Urban's like, I love the movie George, but Jar Jar, I think you're gonna have to save him for another.
You're gonna have to table it. Yeah, table it.
Table it.
Misa, I don't think so.
Well, there's the whole theory of the whole Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah, it's a fun. Yeah,
Ryan doesn't.
There
believe
was
it,
an image of Jar Jar that somebody made.
Yeah,
that I thought if they had looked like the Gung, I thought that was one of the missteps of the Phantom Menace was that they did that whole sort of like red coat. Fighting, two opposing sides, fighting in a field and just sort of like, marching. I thought it should have been more guerrilla warfare, like you would see in like Battlefront, Battlefront 2, whatever. And it should have taken place in like Theed, and it should have been, some battle hungry, Gungans,
battle hungry hippos.
There you go. and then some awesome droids, and that could have been really. Just more exciting than them fighting in the fields, and those balls of energy are getting thrown everywhere.
Where those come from?
And they have the fucking domes that come out of the saddle from
what they call like boomas. Oh, big booma or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, big boomba. Big boomba.
Yeah, big boomba.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Hey, give me a lift.
I like those scenes. The problem is like the weird ass CGI of the field. Like the field looks so weird and fake. It's like
it was just bad.
It was rough. But yeah, at the time it looked great, but now if you go back to it, it's like, oh wow, okay, well,
yeah.
And real quick, you were talking about how they try to hang on to like the Millennium Falcon. So I think they took a step in the right direction when they, as Barcelona pointed out, when they destroyed the Razor Crest.
Okay.
Yes. Saying like, yeah.
Do you have the clip? Please tell me you have the clip.
You mean this clip?
No!
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
That's awesome.
That's Enos's reaction to the
because he had just bought the Razor Crest toy.
Yeah.
Like he had been looking for forever.
Yeah.
So he was pissed.
And that was like his investment getting blown to smithereens.
I know, right?
So the joke was that he's not yelling no because he's like, oh no. Like, he's saying no because he just bought the damn thing. He's getting blown up. There's like
hundreds of dollars. Yeah. It is wild that they did that, dude. Can you believe that?
But I like that was his reaction. My reaction was the complete antithesis. I was like, yes!
Yeah.
And like, I was elated. I was like, I can't believe they actually had the balls, the cojones to fucking pull that off.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I was thinking in my head, I was like, dude, this is definitely Jon Favreau and Pedro Pascal having some beef. And he's like, oh, really? Well, Razor Crest, gone. Baby Yoda leaves with Luke Skywalker. You know what I mean? He's just like taking all of his shit.
Yeah, he's like,
I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Beskar armor gets donated to Boba Fett.
Hey,
right?
Boba.
For real though. Like, he's just
Boba.
like, look, it's my show now, and then just
I'm gonna have my little Aquaman come over here and share the spoils.
All right, so
dude,
Josh,
he was great in that movie.
He was. He was.
We know you.
And he was good in Green Lantern.
He was in Green Lantern.
Yeah, he was. What's his name? M. Monsieur.
Oh, what? That was him.
That was him.
Okay. Wow.
And he did a good job.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. That's good.
I mean,
like that
there's bits and pieces of the movie that's awesome, and there's a whole shit ton that's.
Sinestro was great, dude.
Sinestro's fantastic.
Mark
Strong was great, dude. Bring him back. Bring him back.
Yeah, he was the best part of the movie.
Yeah. He would be great, but he's already in the new universe.
Oh, he's in Shazam.
Yeah, okay.
Dr. Savannah.
Multiverse.
So I think they should bring in Luke Evans, right, to replace him as Sinestro.
Well, the problem with that though is now he's gonna be cast in every single live action Disney adaptation ever. So he's gonna be doing every single one of those.
True.
Yeah.
Because, like, what is he, like, in the new Pinocchio one? Like, he was in Beauty and the Beast. Like, he's literally in everything that they're trying to do, live action-wise.
Was he in the Jungle Book?
Probably somewhere. I don't know.
In the background, maybe.
Lion King, perhaps?
Definitely not there.
Real quick, I want to know how y'all feel about this Armie Hammer thing. What's up with this Armie Hammer thing? Is this ridiculous or what? Well, he's like got let go by his CAA, right, or whatever. His
talent agency.
Yeah, his talent agency dropped him because of the whole eating other humans and stuff. Allegedly
eating other humans.
Wait, you guys don't know about the controversy?
What?
I saw the article, but I did not read it.
Who played the twins and the social
the Lone Ranger. Yeah,
the Lone Ranger.
He ate other people.
No, so a bunch
of cannibal
came out that he, and you don't know if they're real or not, but he was like into a fetish where he was like into like eating people and talking about being a vampire and like really weird stuff. You guys didn't hear about this?
No. What is this?
This is like crazy.
Yeah,
I feel bad that I don't even know about this.
Dude, I was like, I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was like a meme actually, and then like his wife like did, and I was like, whoa. And then
his wife outed him, like, yeah,
bro. And then he got kicked out of that J-Lo movie. I was like, oh shit. And then after his agency dropped him, I was
trying
to
eat J-Lo,
bro. I was like, this dude has eaten people.
Can I get a bite?
Like, think about it. It's Hollywood. His agency dropped him.
That's huge.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
That's huge. I mean, that's like.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but you're going to be eating people. You need to be more than fired. You need to be arrested. And
yeah,
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's.
I mean, he got fired. like,
okay, good. Like, it's all taken care of. No more worry.
He's on the loose. We don't know where he is.
Right. Don't worry.
Watch
he can't
out.
hurt you now. He will not be in the movies. He's now unemployed and looking and lurking around town.
And he's hungry.
And he's hungry.
And he's hungry. No stimulus checks.
Okay, so Josh, I know you got to go real soon, so I just want to bring up real quick. Yeah. You have a channel, Dead of Nerds. Now, you used to do the show where it was just like a pre-recorded kind of like kind of news, with like a background and all that. Now you're doing the live stuff like all the time now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, tell us real quick. I mean, you've been doing this for how long now with your channel, Dead of Nerds?
I would say probably like 3 years, maybe 3.5. I started off just talking about Star Wars, nothing crazy or whatever, and then got lucky with a couple of videos. We saw a lot of growth around the Avengers Infinity War Endgame thing, and then Star Wars as well. But in 2020, because there was like no Marvel content and not a lot of content just in general, we leaned into live streaming quite a bit, and so we stream a lot. And that's been a really great thing for our community and for just the channel in general. We still, I have, the main channel where I still put out like the WandaVision preview videos and all these different things. But then, we stream a ton over on our live streaming channel. It's been pretty cool. So.
I feel like that's what a lot of channels have kind of gotten to during year 2020, even into this year. Because again, all stuff that's been happening, this podcasts are getting more and more popular. So like people like that interaction.
Yeah.
Like I've even seen it with like my own personal channel. Like when I put out pre-recorded videos, sometimes, like you said, sometimes they're hit and miss. Sometimes you get a lot of traction. Sometimes you don't. Yeah. But live streams, you're more likely to get people coming in. You know, people bringing stuff to the conversation. And it's just interesting how that dynamic has kind of shifted with YouTube, how live streaming is kind of becoming the thing.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I tell people too, like if you're a YouTuber or if you want to be a YouTuber, look, it was sort of an understated thing, but mental health with YouTube, even before 2020, was a thing because look, it just sucks, dude. Like they don't really take care of you. You don't really know fully why videos succeed or take off. You can get hurt without knowing why. You have to put a lot of work in for a little bit of reward. And even some of the people that are killing it aren't necessarily seeing the money that you would think. And so for a long time, I was like, this is not a good system. And I really don't like being at the sort of whim of this corporation that's deciding, what's good speech, what's a fair thing that I can put an ad on, et cetera, et cetera. So sort of with the concept of, because we did the membership thing, and that's like people paying us a monthly. It's almost like Patreon where they pay us a monthly thing. And we were like, dude, this is really what we want to dive into, because this way these people are our boss and we don't have to worry about Google as long as we're making them happy.
There you go.
Exactly.
So I'll tell you, it's been great, not just for the money that came eventually. It was a slow build, but now it's a great thing even for like our mental health. We had a video last weekend, our WandaVision episode 5 breakdown. It got blocked by Disney. Now it's up, but we can't make any money off of it.
Yeah.
And like I'm telling you, this video would have made us like thousands and thousands of dollars, right?
Oh,
But the fact that we have the cushion income on a monthly from the members, we didn't even blink. Like we won't even notice. In fact, if anything, it just made our fans like, mad or like really want to support us even more. So like on streams around that, we made even more on like super chats and stuff like that. And it really does feel like the vibe is hey man, like we're about you guys. So we took that video when it was blocked and just cut it up and put it on our Discord for free. And like, we don't make any money off that, but like the whole idea is like, who's the boss? Like, who are we really trying to take care of? It's the people that watch the channel, you know?
Exactly. It's like fans of films. Like the fans are the boss because they pay the money to see the movie. They pay to see the entertainment. They dictate what works for the studio and what doesn't due to them viewing it. And it's the same exact thing with YouTube, which is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, I usually watch your show almost every morning because my kids have me up early in the morning because I'm on the West Coast. So I'm usually tuning into that. But I've never seen such a strong community that you have with the Nerd Avengers. I mean, the Nerd Avengers are incredible. I mean, they are diehard for the show, and you've created quite the environment and team there, and it's really remarkable what you've done.
No, I appreciate it. You know, it's cool. Look, I mean, like obviously, like I love it, and we're having a ton of fun. But really, it wouldn't exist without them. So you know, like I always just try to sort of put it back on them. And I will also just say too that because look, YouTube is a weird thing. We all know that like the comment section can be super toxic. A live stream chat can be super toxic. If you start like slow and you build with people that you can trust and you cultivate an actual ethos in a community, as you grow slowly, that community will insulate you from some of the more negative aspects of YouTube. So like for instance, we can talk about incredibly controversial things, and I know that my chat will make sure that people that like bad actors can't come in and ruin the show. They're gonna insulate, you know, for themselves. They're self-policing, but they'll also, you know, just make it for new people that are coming in a better experience to just check out the chat and see what's going on. So it really does start to sort of feed itself, but it's unfortunately one of those things that you cannot buy, you cannot speed up. You must build organically. You have to just grind and continue to try to bring value to people. You know, just keep bringing value to people. And over time, you can have that same effect. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly. It's a good point. Very good point.
Well, awesome, dude. Thank you, Josh. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This was a lot of fun, man. We had a great time.
I had a blast, and I honestly like it's a joy to talk about other things too. You know how it is on YouTube. Sometimes you get wrapped into like talking about your own stuff. Around the time of like Zach of the cut and everything, I would love to do some more collabs. Talk about
definitely. And also a big shout out too. I mean, Josh, he joined in on the Deck the Hall of Justice fundraiser event. He led the whole thing off. Did an incredible job.
That was awesome.
That was awesome,
fun, dude.
And you raised quite a bit of money for that, so that's amazing.
I mean, again, totally them, right? So totally them. We're just lucky to have that community to be able to, you know, do that. But man, what a fun day! I chimed in on a ton of different streams. I know Zach was popping up throughout the day. I do genuinely love that fucking guy, and I love a husband-wife team. Does it for me. I'm a big fan of that. So salt of the earth, man. I really genuinely like that guy. To be even involved with that at all was an honor for me, for sure.
Well, it was an honor to have you on there as well. And the promo that you put together for the event, just talking about the event, that was it was stellar. I couldn't believe it. Dude, that was so cool, so well done. So I always want to tell you, thank you for doing that, because that was so much fun and it meant a lot to all of us.
Of course, man. Yeah, that was one of my guys. I like kind of put it together, whatever, and then give it to him, and he really pushed it over the top, And so no, it was something that we all knew we wanted to be a part of, and I just have a good team, and they were ready for it. They were like, let's go. So yeah, man, we definitely appreciate you guys having me on, and just in general, just carrying the torch. But I like collaborating and hanging with people that I think are good people online, and I will always continue to do that. So I look forward to talking more with you guys. You know what I mean? And
that'd be fun. Yeah, no, we had a forward to it as well. Yeah,
for sure. All right,
so as we all talk over each other.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the thing: I knew exactly what everybody was saying, so it was
that's good. Good ability to read lips, right?
And also, real quick before you go, can you confirm the rumor that you are related to George Lucas?
I cannot confirm or deny. Okay, everyone. Everybody has so much fun with that, and now apparently I'm Daniel Rickman as well. I wear flannel all the time.
I knew it.
Daniel RPK as well.
Yeah, that's what they think, I guess. Yeah. Well, hey man, keep them always keep them guessing, I guess, right?
Yes, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen.
All right, Josh. Thank you so much.
Have a good evening.
Have a great night, man.
Take care, guys.
Take care. What a great show, man.
That was awesome.
Great. That was awesome.
Yes.
That
Great,
was
great
so
guy.
cool.
He said Josh is George Lucas.
See, he's the younger George Lucas that came back to the future, right?
He
And
look-
talked
he
to
looks- when you watch like Empire of Dreams and it goes behind the scenes of like,
him.
dude, he looks he looks just like him on the set of A New Hope and shit. Like, yeah.
Well, and also big shout out to Nerd Avengers. I know you guys were here in the chat.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you for visiting the show. Subscribe,
Thank you for putting
like,
comments in here for us.
Oh yeah, you guys were awesome.
And if you like what you see, and you liked what you've heard from each of us, please also give a subscribe to to all of our channels, not one of ours, to all of our channels, and catch up with us. And
he's like my channel only. Yes,
my channel only. Please.
Yeah, the link to all our channels in the description down below. And also an exciting thing coming up on Sunday. So we do know that Zack Snyder posted on Twitter that he's posting the newest actual trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League. The final trailer. Right.
Yes.
And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a live watch party of the trailer, giving our thoughts on it, and having a grand old time. It's going to be a fun time. We're really looking forward to it. Gosh, I love that picture so much.
Guys, did you ever think that we're going to get to this point? We're seeing a black suit Superman about to shoot his eye lasers. I mean, this is incredible.
You just called them eye lasers?
Eye lasers?
Whatever.
What is it like?
I don't know.
A laser sword?
Laser sword.
Okay. They're called.
Yes. So anyway, this is the
Whatever,
four nerds.
dude.
Oh
well. But here's the thing though. Pull the image back up real quick, Anthony, if you will. Yeah. Behind him, I'm telling you, dude, that is a boom tube.
Boom tube, yes.
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah.
I can agree. And those are not laser eyes.
What are they called?
Heat vision.
Heat vision.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely when he hits Heat Vision's Steppenwolf, grabs him and throws him, and then that's when it all head comes off, and it's gonna be good. Yeah. So guys, watch party this Sunday.
Yeah,
watch party this Sunday.
Somebody put that image side by side with Zach's storyboard, and it says boom, and there's
and it shows Aquaman, Wonder Woman in the back,
and if you look at it, look somebody's behind him. Look there. Yeah, so that's Steppenwolf sees the boom tube. He's like, "Oh, get away!" He's like,
exit stage right."
Well, what's interesting too is that the image that was put out there by Jason Momoa, where it shows him, stabbing Steppenwolf with the trident. So my theory is that, which is not really a theory, it's kind of like
that Patrick Stewart is going to be there.
Charles Xavier shows up and mind freezes everybody. No, but that Superman, he heat visions him, then grabs him, throws him to Aquaman.
Not a verb.
Aquaman stabs him with a trident.
Okay, what do you say then, Ryan? What do you say then, Ryan?
Oh, he shoots him with his heat vision.
Oh God.
Okay.
That's simple.
Because that's going to lead to Wonder Woman beheading him. That's going to lead to that scene where she cuts his head off, which I cannot wait to see. Now, this trailer, this teaser that we got today, this was, I don't like to swear that much, but this was fucking incredible. I've never seen. We just got demonetized.
Incredible here.
That's
like the fucking awesome.
That's the 17th time you said incredible this entire stream.
I don't care. This was so badass of a teaser trailer. I think we should watch it again. I really do.
I'm down.
Let's do it.
Do you have a pause in the back? Or is it just...
What do you trigger something? I want to hear that, that King Kong, here's the motherfucker gonna kick. No,
but see, you can have that in Godzilla vs. Kong because it's at the end of the day, it's a blockbuster.
I don't want to
movie.
Hear that shit.
No, but you don't want to hear it in this. But even though
what's good,
Will Siggy, what's up?
How's it going?
She's the newest patron of Nickatina Show, so thank you so much.
Awesome.
She's a VIP Patreon.
Also, real quick, guys, you remember at the beginning of the show we were talking about a Beskar Batman?
You've been staring down at your crotch for
I was wondering what you were working on.
I've been working on it. It's not done yet, but I want to show you guys what I do have before we do close up here.
I hate when Dawson types. When we're talking, and you're like,
real quick, before we
You can shut up, Andre.
You can hear it easily. You're like, dude, stop typing. Nice.
Ooh, so he's in the Iron Man position. Okay, and yeah.
Look,
I like the helmet.
The whistling
birds.
Oh, there's his crotch.
Yeah. Piccolo Pete's.
You got the helmet there. That's like Batman-esque, but like with some Mandalorian stuff. You got the edited symbol.
That looks kind of more like Batman mixed with Predator.
Still.
He's not an ugly mother effer, Ryan. That's not what this is.
The Predator helmets. Oh, it's back there.
Yeah, dogs would quit barking. I might be able to talk. Real quick before we move on,
Ryan, you can't hang your laundry there.
I want to shout out to Fran for a couple of these images. The Gift King Fran.
Yeah,
Fran. That's who
sent
me an upscaled version of that teaser trailer.
Yes.
So he sent me that. He emailed that to me. Also, this image that on the thumbnail, he got it. Dude knows how to work with the stuff.
We gotta get him on the show.
Yeah.
He'll come on. Normally he's not on camera, but he'll come on.
He'll just upscale every single frame of the show. Just every single one.
Cinematic. Wow, he looks incredible.
We look incredible. There he is saying incredible again.
Yeah, he said, "Yeah, we look incredible."
And Anthony is gone.
gone.
Oh man, dude, that's just hilarious, dude. You
say throw incredible. Up the overlay.
What? Which one, man? The incredible one?
Fire.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, your dog's going nuts right now.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And the Wonder Woman photo is it is.
It is really
Fran he upscaled that one and then sent it to me. That's why it looks so fucking fire back there. Yeah. what are you talking about? This one?
Not low. That's 4K.
The
textures.
Is this still available?
It is actually. Oh, that's what I pulled down. Yeah. So it definitely is still available for my Teespring. Oh, yeah. Teespring. Yeah. Sorry. Victor Stone got the jersey. And all proceeds go to afsp.org. Basically just get a shirt. Send me a photo of you wearing the shirt, and I'll throw it up in a collage I'm making for Ray Fisher. And I mean, just show your support. This guy's been through a hell of a lot, and he's seen the shirts. He knows about them. He's seen people that have worn them. So it's really cool. So really cool. Very helpful.
And also, guys, be sure to follow the if you guys want to hear the audio playbacks of these shows on Spotify, be sure to follow the Nerdy Many Ways podcast on Spotify, where all these episodes will be contained after the fact. So just want to make sure we got that in there before we went any further.
Yeah.
Well, and guys, there was a tweet that was put out recently by Ray Fisher saying once again that Walter Hamada needs to apologize to the rest of the people that were involved in the Justice League investigation. Do you guys have any thoughts on that, Dawson?
About him still needing to apologize? I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I'm sure, like, because like, again, we know that he apologized to Ray Fisher. At least we can insinuate that with him saying like, you still owe an apology to these people. Because like, again, we saw with Charisma Carpenter this week how she came out and how she was one of the people interviewed, and the idea of Walter Hamada kind of trying to like delegitimize the investigation with Ray Fisher also delegitimizes tries to delegitimize. Goodness, I can't speak right now. It also tries to delegitimize the witnesses of these different people, like Charisma Carpenter. You know, it tries to essentially make it so that their witnesses or that their stories don't really matter because, again, they're trying to cover up the investigation with Ray Fisher. We're putting out these hit pieces over and over again with the fake Frosty the Snowman stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I think I can understand why Ray Fisher wants that apology to those people because, again, it affects them too, not just him. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Walter Hamada will actually go through with that because, I mean, I feel like to him, he feels like he's done enough, like, to just apologize to Ray Fisher. He's probably thinking like, well, I've already apologized to this guy. Like, what the heck more does he want? He's probably thinking it that way, but you know, anyway, it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know if any of that made sense.
Ryan, what about you? I mean, because look, he's not going to let it go, and he wants him to be held accountable.
Me? Kiki said he's going to send us a picture of him just wearing the shirt, just the shirt.
What I'll do is I'll put a black
bottomless mimosas
over the bottom half of you. But I'll definitely use it, and Ray will see it. So that'd be awesome.
But Ryan, if you're Walter Hamada, are you losing your mind at this point? Because he's not letting go of this, and he keeps.
You don't have the picture, do you?
Which one? The Walter
Hamada going freaking out. Yeah, you know, I think it must be pride that Walter Hamada just doesn't. You know, he's like, I told you that I'm sorry, Ray. Is that not enough? I have to tell all these other people that I tried to block, cock block essentially. So
terrifying.
That is terrifying.
One more time.
No, please.
Let's play it again.
There it goes. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you got it.
I hate this I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean, just suck up your pride, tuck in your balls, and just tell him, "I'm sorry for being a douche." And then they can move forward.
Apologized to Ray Fisher.
Ray, but
he
not
has to apologize to everybody else. And now we're seeing, because of the tweets from Charisma Carpenter, that these allegations go much deeper, as we already suspected. So now we have Charisma Carpenter. We have Sarah Michelle Gellar coming out and making,
and that was one of the nails in the coffin right there.
Oh, that was huge.
Yeah,
she didn't directly say, he's a piece of shit. Sorry, but he did. She basically did say, without saying,
he didn't say incredible.
That it's an incredible accusation, and it's true. And then there was another girl who was in Buffy who came out and said the same. Who came out in support of Charisma Carpenter, but Charisma's letter, to me, that is the most damning information that has been brought out about Joss Whedon. I mean, that's firsthand. Besides,
and it's detailed.
It's very detailed. I mean, and we could talk about the fact that, look, when he said, "Are you going to keep it?" Now, obviously, we don't know the context in which he said it. It doesn't matter, though. If you jokingly say it, it's still a passive-aggressive way of saying,
sacrifice your family for the sake of the show.
I don't blame you.
Because it's going to be tough for me to work that in the storyline.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? It's still a passive-aggressive way of manipulating somebody else to do what you want them to do.
And the interesting thing about that letter that Charisma Carpenter put out is that part where she details her meeting with Joss Whedon after her, her agents tried to call him. It was I put out a tweet of how similar that sounds to what Jeff Johns allegedly did to Ray Fisher.
Yeah, Lightcast brought that up. He brought your tweet up last night, and he referenced, the similarities that you had alluded to, and I agree. I agree with you.
Are you gonna keep it?
That you don't say that.
You don't ask that question. You don't ask that question.
Disgusting, dude. Disgusting beyond fucking
scum of the earth.
Yeah. You gonna keep it? If not, you ain't playing next season.
And then accusing her of potentially sabotaging the show because she wants a family.
That's absolutely ridiculous. You know how many shows are in production where female actors get pregnant, and you're gonna make a big deal? I mean, it's just the way that's handled and his mentality. That is the worst type of person out there.
I'm shocked that he didn't say that to
him whatsoever.
Scarlett Johansson was pregnant during the Avengers, right?
One of the movies? I think so. One of them.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, I know she has a story about him, but and that would be the nail through the coffin if she came out.
Yeah, but he Joss didn't mess around too much on those sets, though.
He knew. He probably knew.
There's
right here in the comments.
Oh, was it Gillis you're talking about here?
No, he has he's talking about another person who came forward. Gillis, who's also a member of both Nerdy in Many Ways and Nickatina Show, and I believe he's Zeeverfett as well. Maybe not.
Ryan's like, say what now?
Oh, look at Anthony. It's not over there, man. It's on your screen. He's like, hey, is Gillis in my house?
He's like, how much? Yeah, super size.
You knock on the door?
Yeah, extra fries.
Hey, it's unlocked. Just come on
in. Tater tots too.
Tater tots.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Anthony,
you all right,
give me some of your tots.
Use your tots.
Did you order DoorDash?
He's like, they're here?
Gillis?
What?
In the comments, Gillis
show's over, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go eat.
Oh, show's over. Oh, okay. Yeah, peace out, man.
And we'll
see you guys next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time sharp. Let's go.
I want to shave my.
The show's not really over for those who've joined us that don't know that clip. I just said
exactly
that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, don't back.
That's how we send out every single show.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Brigham. I have so much respect for Brigham. The fact that he's the one who had the idea of like putting the disco horn. That's like it's such a perfect part of that.
The actress from Eurotrip, Lucy Lawless.
No, what Gillis's comments? He's trying to tell.
Yeah, let's pull those up. So, talking about Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah, Anthony's. Is he frozen?
I think he's frozen. Yeah, he's
frozen. Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
He's back.
I froze up for a second because
he's back from the future.
You can always tell when you freeze up because everybody else freezes except for you, and you're just like, "What's going on?" But that means it's froze.
Yeah. Like, guess what? You're the one who's actually frozen.
Yeah. Bad Joss Whedon.
Yeah. Do you think you could bring up? Yeah. Talking about Michelle Trachtenberg.
He doesn't
saying,
click on share screen.
No, we're talking about Gillis right here. So Gillis says,
Gillis's comments, man. Pull it up.
Where they at? I can't fucking see them, dude.
I'll just read them for you. So it says, did you guys see the other comment from another woman who was on the show? She commented on Instagram. Oh, there you go. Comment on Instagram. She said,
the right track.
She said Michelle Trachtenberg updated her Instagram post to say there was a rule saying Whedon is not allowed in a room alone with Michelle again.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, man, this guy is guilty. There's no way around this.
Man.
Whew, that's
from what I heard, from what I gather, he was on his best behavior for the first Avengers as far as production goes and directing that movie because look how large of a thing that is. So in the spotlight's on you big time. So it was super successful. So he was back. And I brought this up last night on the Pop Culture Corner show when I was on there. Look how small Samuel L. Jackson's role was in Ultron.
Yeah.
He showed up at the barn. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He's the type of personality that I think Samuel Jackson, he ain't about to be disrespecting no females on
That's true.
set.
That's true.
And he probably wouldn't be having that shit. And also, people have a tendency to say that Joss is kind of racist. So there you go. Samuel Jackson goes from the huge role in the first one to I'm gonna walk out from behind this John Deere tractor.
Take you for a ride on my big green tractor.
Talk to him, give him a little talk, and then fucking kind of show up at the end.
I like that one where the interview was like, "What's in your wallet?" It's like, "What are you talking about?" Because he wasn't in the commercial. They got him confused. We don't all look alike.
Oh my gosh.
At this point, guys, do you think there's any chance that Joss Whedon will ever be on a set of a movie, independent movie,
I don't think
short movie ever again?
Maybe. Like
ever again.
Maybe
he's gonna have a reputation. The actors are gonna be like, "Well, who's Joss Whedon?"
Maybe he's got a future in the porn industry. I don't know.
If you ask me, he's done. I think he's done. His career is just about over at this point. I don't even think maybe producing. I don't know.
Even then, like he'd be on set, like people wouldn't want to work with him. Like that'd be a tough situation. Yeah, I don't see him being accepted into a big studio ever again with the kind of backlash that would come with that.
Yeah. So
the allegations are just too damning.
Yeah. Agreed.
Damn the allegation.
To answer your question,
no,
never gonna fucking happen.
I always picture that as it's blowing up, that Enoch is remembering the image of like saying,
the receipt.
Buy now.
No.
Yeah.
What's funny about that?
I can still cancel. Still cancel.
Nah.
What's funny about that too is Isaac goes, they're talking, all of a sudden Isaac goes, hey, I guess you got to buy a new ship. I was like, yes. And then later, Tip was like, I guess you can always buy a second ship or something. They both made a comment about it. They knew what was going on. It was so funny.
Oh, he was so mad.
Yes.
He even says to he goes, well, thanks a lot, Disney and Hasbro. It wasn't cheap though. I mean, it wasn't like
I'm sure it wasn't.
It was like $300 or something like that.
No, more.
Yeah.
Where's yours? Didn't you bought one too, Ryan?
The $350.
Where is it?
It's on its way. It's on its way.
It's in production, man.
Did you buy it after the scene where it exploded?
No, you couldn't. You couldn't buy it. It was only on for certain.
It ended. I think it ended way before the show.
And yes, it was like a week, right? It was like a week.
Yeah.
And then right after that, they were like, "Okay, we got all the sales. Okay, you can destroy it now."
Yeah. We got the money. Do it. Pull the trigger.
Yeah.
No, it should be good though. I can't wait to see the next Mandalorian season, which will be in about 2 years.
In about 2 years,
because we're gonna get Boba Fett.
I've already seen people trying to like recast Gina Carano's character. What's her name, Cara Dune. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, put this person in there. I'm like, dude, just
get rid of the character.
Yeah, even before this character existed, back when there was talks about having Wonder Woman in BBS, a lot of fans were saying, "Oh, Gina Carano, she could play Wonder Woman." Now, can you imagine if they went that route and this happened? Like,
not on Twitch yet, TRG.
Yeah, why are we on Twitch?
But the rest of us do stream on Twitch. So
yeah, we all stream on Twitch.
Check us out on Twitch. Give us a follow on Twitch. Nerdy in Many Ways. Nickatina Show, is that what it's called on there?
That's what it is.
We're on Twitch. On Twitch, I'm just an IMW.
And Zeever on Twitch.
And I don't know why you changed your name.
I didn't. My kids changed it. I was like, they just.
And then if you want to follow Ryan on Vero, he's just Ryan.
Very common. It's very easy to find me on Vero.
Yeah,
it's also very easy to get lost.
I know.
Yeah.
But dude, guys, this was a great show. Josh was awesome.
This is fantastic. Yeah, he was a great guest.
Coming on, man.
And thank everyone, if you're still here in the chat from the Nerd Avengers, thank you for coming over here.
Yes.
Dropping some comments. Thank you to all of our regular viewers, and thank you to the people that maybe this is your first time watching the Nerds. Watch us again on Sunday, like Dawson had mentioned. We're going to be at what, 2:14.
It'll be 12.
It's 12:14 Eastern time.
Yeah, 12:14. 1 hour before the trailer releases, we're gonna have a pre-show building up to the watch party. We're gonna watch the trailer together, watch it multiple times, freak out, have a great time. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
And of course, the reaction shows minutes after that. So we're just gonna keep going, and it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, we're gonna stream. And until we can't stream.
I said, Nick, what's your sub count?
I wish it was 1,000. Let's put it that way.
It's so. Before we bounce out of here, this is where you can find all of us fine gentlemen.
Fine's a relative term.
I would say incredible.
This is where you can find all four of us incredible personalities. All right, you got Dawson here, Nerdy in Many Ways at Nimwood32. On Twitter, Ryan from Zeeverfett at Zeeverfett, myself, ACS Universe, at 2279 ACS on Twitter, and Nickatina Show at Nickatina_show on Twitter. If you don't mind, if you'd be happy to do so, go over and give us a follow, subscribe to our YouTube channels. It would be greatly appreciated. And we'd like to thank everybody for coming by, dude. I might have disliked your stream, probably.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he was the one.
Yeah, he was like,
his ears were burning.
Appreciate you coming by, man. Appreciate you. We hope to see you guys on Sunday and next Thursday.
And real quick, you guys, if you haven't done so yet, I'm over 500.
Congratulations.
And guys, remember later on tonight at 11:30 p.m. Pacific time, we're gonna have the WandaVision episode 6 watch party.
You're plugging your shit right now.
I am. The episode 6 watch party. Dawson, are you gonna join us this week?
I should be able to. No guarantees though.
Okay, so Dawson may be there as well. Brian Master of None, Mad Vids will be there as well. Tyler from Pop Culture Corner and Gavin Cooley as well. It's gonna be a lot of fun, you guys. We're gonna have a pre-show, a watch party, and a post-show. Pre and post on YouTube, and the whole thing will be on Twitch. So if you follow me on Twitch, you can watch the entire stream in one whole big meal.
All right.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
One more plug, and we're getting replaced. Yes.
Oh, you think that's bad? You think that's bad? Okay. Okay, Anthony, you don't even.
Thank you.
Anthony, try starting your own channel and then having all your closest friends you stream with all be on a show called The Four Nerds, and all they ever talk about when you come on the show, hey, Four Nerds! Hey, Four Nerds! They plug their show nonstop throughout my show, and at one point I just let it. I even made an a banner for it. I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna embrace it. And I'm on the freaking show now. It's great. I love being here, guys.
Yes. But yes, again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and see you guys on Sunday.
Stay healthy. You guys take it easy.